first half it was. We ended off the first half of 2023 with over 30% jump in the NASDAQ and over 16% jump in the S&P, driven mostly by tech names and the AI craze. What a morning it's been. Guys, we have a new delivery number to deal with here from Tesla, reporting yesterday on their Q2 deliveries, and it was an over 80% jump year on the quarter for Tesla. Over 479,000 cars produced, 466,000 delivered, so a little bit of inventory left over. We have an important number coming in today as well. We have I believe the manufacturing, ISM manufacturing PMI coming in at 10 o'clock. That should be interesting. Keep tuned for that. XPEV as well, also reporting over 8,000 vehicles delivered on the quarter. It saw an over 15% jump in its stock on the Hang Seng, up 7 1/3 now, guys. There's the watch list. Make sure to get that sent to you every morning. I composed it this morning, and it was set bright and early. Helps you organize your day. And let's see what's in focus today. It is Monday, July 3rd, 2023. tradertv.live starts now. All right, that was a little bit. Yeah, guys, there it is. The NASDAQ barely positive at 0.08%. The S&P just in the negative there, 0.05% to the downside. Guys, this shortened day, we end up at 1 today. What do we got on deck?
Electric vehicles is what we have. Welcome, everybody. We used to have a graphic button which was specifically for EVs. It was like a car, and then there was like electric bolts coming out of it. Yeah. I feel like that's what you want to hit today, because on a holiday shortened day, and by the way, first of all, happy Canada Day for those that are in Canada. That was on Saturday, but of course July 4th tomorrow. So early happy July 4th to all our viewers in the US. You always have to, days like today, focus in on what is actually moving. Get your trades in when the getting is good, because you know by the end of the day things are going to tend to slow down. So that's what it's all about. And today it is all about the EVs, whether it's Tesla, XPeng, NIO's moving as well. Tesla already tested that 280 local top. I think we'll get another crack at that one as well. Big delivery number is great, but quite frankly, it's the volume that's exciting me. We're over 4 million shares in the pre-market. And all the things that are over $1 million that I'm looking at are all EV names, with the notable exception of PLM, and we'll get to that one. That's a buyout deal, which is not firm, but Glencore already owns like 82% of the company, so it might have a decent chance of getting done. Lots to watch, definitely exciting, maybe more exciting than the Leafs pickups over the weekend.
The Leafs? Well, they got Max Domi. They got
that Bertuzzi dude?
Yeah, I think they're better now that they were before.
Are they?
I think so.
Oh, because my buddy was saying that like Domi is absolute dog, you know what, on defense, and like I don't know how.
No, I don't think so. I think he's fine. I mean, he's just a small little guy, but yeah, the Leafs doesn't matter. Whatever the Leafs do now doesn't matter. I mean, we have the big guys, right, that have to come through. So hopefully we can win a couple playoff series and get that going. But the Blue Jays really shit the bed.
See, do you notice how I actually talked about hockey because I didn't want to.
I know, but I was like, what's up with that? We're 0-7 against the Red Sox this year. Boston lost 5 in a row, and they come here and they sweep us.
We lost on Canada Day.
Gausman on pitching as well.
The entire country usually is watching the Jays. Oh my God!
Well, not the entire country.
No, I know it's not everybody, but like people came up. Everyone that was sitting around me was from Nova Scotia. People beside me on either side were from Nova Scotia. That's like out east here in Canada. People in front of us from Nova Scotia, and everybody was pissed off that we're losing to Boston.
Yeah, well, the Jays are a disappointing team for sure. We're getting excited here because we've got Apple running, but it's been running. Obviously, it's now down today, 0.28. So we're gonna have to watch out for Apple. We're gonna watch out for Tesla. And there's lots of stuff happening here today. But most importantly, we're gonna watch out for Sharif.
Rivian, guys, just reporting now they produced 14,000 vehicles, essentially 13,992. They delivered 12,640 of those vehicles. Popping up right now, volume coming in on that news, up 6 1/4. Not just in sympathy with Tesla, with its own headline, guys.
Yeah, so there we go. Rivian making some moves. Just touched 18,
touched 18
and came right back there.
Yeah, 18 up there. There, Neil has it up there. I mean, that's good. I mean, the delivery numbers are pumping through here. We did see delivery numbers, obviously, in China getting better than expected. So it should be a fun day. NEO's up here. XPEV's up here on the imbalance locator as well. There's Rivian up to 18 bucks. We'll have to get those numbers a little bit more clarification there. But, I mean, they're just brought to you by Sharif. So let's just watch to see what happens here on Rivian. You still have that top of $20, $21 there. But, wow, I was saying this morning, maybe some of these EV names are definitely off their bottoms. I mean, Lucid, NEO off 7 up to 11 or so. Was it 10.50 or so for NEO? Bottom being 7, yeah, 10. So that's up 30% in a month for NEO as well. There's that $7 bottom, and then more moves to come here. So yeah, and then the one that I'm excited for, of course, today is going to be XPEV. That's really, it's XPeng, but XPEV is the symbol. It's really been going upside here in the last couple of days. Look at these big candles here. Boom, boom. Like this was just $10 last week, up to 15 today. So 50% move in about a week on XPEV as that continues higher here. But look at the fade. There's a lot of fade here in this market. So that's going to give me reasons to sit here and try to buy some 13s and 14s here on XPEV. I don't want to give away our whole watch list. It's only 8:36 here. Watch list pretty slim pickings here today. So we'll be talking about XPEV. We'll be talking about Tesla. I don't even know something else on the watch list today, but there's
AstraZeneca.
Oh, AstraZeneca down 4.5%.
Not good.
I think Tesla's the one you want to watch today for sure. And then,
No
and then I want to watch Apple because we're above 190. And then some of the big tech names, obviously. And then you were mentioning too, Sharif, some of the travel names apparently down. I wrote down CCL, but it's the airlines that are the down ones. So.
Definitely. CCL actually might not be that bad. I was really hoping it was moving because it was set up that maybe you'd have a clean night. It's consolidating off the top, and it might have like a 19 potential breakout. Because on Friday, I mean, like the 18 breakout was about as easy as it gets. It even dipped back in there before eventually getting to 18. What was the actual high? 89. So if it were to do the same thing at 19, that'd be interesting. It feels like it's rolling over and very light volume there as well. But that's what you have to do. If it's not something that's in EV land, find something that was moving on Friday. SoFi could be an example of that as well. Like SoFi was on news on Friday. Obviously, we know the student loan, the loan bill getting struck down, not bill or whatever you want to call it, debt relief getting struck down by the Supreme Court. I think SoFi is going to be a bit of a mover that you can cling to. But if you're trying to force the action today in a stock that you usually like but ain't going, you're just going to waste your time. SoFi had the halts, had the volatility, has a double bottom. I like to think if you break down or up from here, this could be a decent avenue to trade today.
Hey guys, yeah, ETH also strong, diverging today from Bitcoin. Bitcoin's only up 0.19, ETH is up 2.6%. I'm looking for news here to justify the move. All that I'm seeing is that it's getting a buoy off the SEC labeling last week's ETF filing from BlackRock and Fidelity as just inadequate, not rejecting it outright. Not sure why that's not applying to Bitcoin as well, but ETH here up 2.6% on the day. Chart looks good.
Yeah, I mean, usually we only care, I don't want to say we only care about Bitcoin, but to the context of what we track in terms of like when I'm trading Coinbase, and obviously when you look at some of the equity names like Riot and Mara, then what you care about is Bitcoin. But ETH is on the march to that 2,000. It's just a matter of if it was something we traded, yeah, I would probably be a little bit more excited about it. It's more of a psychological, what can it do to rising tide lifting all ships if it breaks out further from this consolidation. Forget about the 15-minute. Let me go to the daily and see how quickly that loads. This is what I mean by it trying to break back out. Because you had a nice little pullback channel that looked like it was getting rejected. Now it's reformed, and if you get above 2,000, you're getting back into what is some local highs, right? And it's not all time, but it's all that local high at about 21.4. So I'd keep my eye on this. It's more of a momentum thing than anything else. If 2,000 were to go, I don't think it happens. I don't necessarily think it happens today, but if it were to go this week, I'd be looking at just pull everything up and look for like your Riots and Maras. Typically, I've been trying to find ways to fade coin. So when I see whether it's Bitcoin or ETH and crypto move, the idea for me is to just not short Coinbase in those moments because I, for some reason, don't really like going long that stock. Should be changing my tune, though, if it gets past that 75.
Yeah, we've been talking about, I mean, one of the biggest winners in this space for a little bit here has been HUD-8. I mean, HUD-8 here just on the altcoin has just been ripping here from $2 up to $3.50 just in the last couple of weeks. So I think this is a name that you can watch out for as well as you look to, possibly get some exposure to some of those altcoins. Again, they mine the coins, turn them into Bitcoin as well. So, but you're running right up to that level. This is why I wanted to bring this up, because this $3.75, $4 level here on HUD-8 is definitely something to keep your eye on. That's where we're bouncing our head off right now. This goes all the way back to last August. So if you're in some of these names, especially some of this crypto, it would be nice to see it continuation there. And I think, with ETH, near that 2,000 mark, we could take that out and stay above it. That definitely rallies, like they say, high tide lifts all ships. So, as this goes, if we can get 2,000 on Ethereum, ETH, then I think that we can continue to make that move to the upside. Watch out for some of these other coins starting to go again. I mean, the portfolio, this is just some of the coins that I look at right here. You could see Bitcoin, 30,000, so just in the last little while, up 0.2. There's Ethereum, 19.6, as Sharif mentioned there. Ripple, I mean, they're all green. Like there's a nice action here, especially over the last week. Litecoin up 25%, Solana up 14.5%. I recently dipped into Cardano at 26. That's at 29, so that's pretty good. Although only up 1% over the last little while. These numbers are still good though, right? This is 1 week, but this is what Bitcoins and what the crypto universe is all about, right? You don't play it for the one-day move, but I still think they're great trading opportunities. And if you're in these names, hey, you know the reason why you are, whether or not you're hodling them or trading them. The movements have been pretty good in crypto space over the last couple of weeks. So I look to continue at that. We like to trade Coinbase around here, so I think that's something that we'll definitely look at today, especially with the movers. Maybe that's something else that we can add to our list there, Sharif. We'll have the EV names. I'm going to be looking at Apple, and then maybe now Coinbase we can add to that, especially if we're going to get some crypto movement.
Absolutely. Coinbase was already up, I believe, 2% this morning. All right. Bad weather and staff shortages contributing to a lot of the delays this week that the airlines suffer. You'll see my watch list here. They're all decidedly red. Suspect amounts of volume, though, today, guys, to be expected on the shortened day. American Airlines with the most at the moment, 72,000 shares done. Looks like United Airlines got the worst of it this weekend, and they're down decidedly today.
So I just I'm going to get to that in a quick second, but PLM is running here, and this is on our watch list, but it's not a normal runner. They are being bought for $2. Well, okay, Glencore is offering to buy them for $2.11. It's a non-binding offer. However, Glencore already owns 82% of the company, so while it might not be a firm offer, what are they going to do? Not get the rest? Makes sense to me. I would not expect. It's at $2 right now. I'm in it, but I should have better shares and more shares. Quite frankly, it kind of sucks. I do think if it breaks that 211, I don't see why it would trade terribly too much higher than that price. Yes, given the fact that it is an unsolicited offer, sure, they could always believe that they should want more, but who else is going to buy them other than the company that owns 82% stake already? It's dual listed, but don't worry, the Canadian market's closed today, so you only have to worry about it trading on the AMEX. So we'll get from that. And if it breaks 2, I'm going to hold till about 0.5. I think that makes some sense, because if it gets to 211, I'm not going short, but I'd want to get out. Delta has been on an absolute churn, and this has been the one, it's out of the airlines. You hear a lot of people say they have the best balance sheet and yada, yada, yada. I'm not here to tell you which one is the best investment, just over the fact that this made a consolidation break on Friday. Well, last week, all in general, this made a decent consolidation break. And you had an absolute churn. There was really no decent pullback or resistance at any point on Friday. So all you can look at is maybe 48 up top, or go back into Thursday's high. If you look at just above 47, like 47.20, there was a little bit of a hiccup right at about 1 o'clock at that price. So I'd call that like the little bit of a dip zone here on Delta. Outside of that, though, it's not doing any volume. This would be the one that I would pick, but I'm just not seeing it. If it's flat on the day, as great a run as it's had, like you've got the EVs moving here, and I don't know if I want to waste time on Delta. If Delta's breaking out and decides it wants to get above 48 and volume picks up at the open, fair enough. But if I don't see that happen, I'm going to write this one off at 9:30, check back at 10 o'clock and see if there's something worth trading there. because even CCL feels a little bit more appealing to me at this point.
Yeah, I haven't know nothing about PLM there. Tesla right here is starting to really run. Well, not, I mean, it's having the volume. There's some volume coming in right now. We talked about this being 4 million shares. Tesla's starting to sort of, I'll clean up these wicks so you can see it, but starting to push down a little bit. We were just at 278, now down to 276 and change. As the NASDAQ's still hovering and doing not much. So this is a lot of volume here, to be honest with you, on Tesla. This must just be one print as well, but I was just doing a volume scan. 2 million shares from Micron seems to be a lot with not much happening there. Oh yeah, that's why we have a big wick there. Okay, so I want to double check that one, and then of course one of the biggest and baddest of them all, recently up only 190% this year, is NVIDIA. And again, we do have some bad wicks on here, so I'm going to try to clean this up. But you're still above that nice 420 level here on NVIDIA. Get rid of this. That we can have a quick look on for NVIDIA. There's 420. There's that bottom level there. So if we are going to dip into anything, I think that this is a great price too. The top is there, the bottom is here, and then if we can trade anywhere around 420, I think you can get a nice little dip buy opportunity there if the market does come back in. So I'm going to be looking at that as well. But NVIDIA is another name that's right back at close enough. I mean, we could take out its high today, so that's 440. So we're going to watch out for that, but that's a little dip buy opportunity as well. As I believe AMD, I still liked it, but I didn't think it was doing too much volume, 400,000 shares. So that's still okay. But again, still really not doing too much. You're looking to take out 115 here today, but that's going to happen off the open. So AMD really, I feel like, didn't pull the trigger on anything down here in like my own account, but there's been a lot of movement off the bottom here on some of these names. So although we were talking about the tech sort of ride here in AI, not really coming to an end, but losing some steam. We were dead right about that. We had AMD short for a very, very long time. And now we've actually put it back. I was looking at this, we actually talked about some longs down here near 108, 109, 110. Now, whether or not we get to there, I don't think we're going to get there today. But there seems to be good support whenever you have a big move like this, and then all of a sudden it stops and you have a couple days of consolidation, then sort of the extension back up to the upside. I'm now thinking that we should be able to hold somewhere around 113.50, 113 here as a top or as a bottom for AMD, and then we can start to springboard back into the 120s. So yeah, some interesting names here to look at today. We're going to go over them. I even like Uber up. Uber's 43-ish. I still, UB, not UN. Uber right there, still hovering around 43. I like that. I like the 45 top that we've seen there. Obviously, we'd rather have a little closer to that before we short, but I was also looking at this name as, again, nice extension back down, comes in and tries to hold this 42. If we can get anywhere down there, that's going to be a long for me as well. So there's some good opportunities. We just really need to watch them. Tesla's like, I'm going to clean up these wicks, but it's going to look like it wants to break 276 to the downside. So I wrote down here maybe we'd have to look at 275, but it's only 848 right now. Market holding up, but Tesla pulling back a little bit here today. Remember, we just wicked up near 280 today, and we were actually trading at that level in the pre-market as well. So to be down $4 is not great, but this is just probably shaking out weak hands. So let's wait to see what happens with Tesla. But Neil and I are both on this. It's on our sticky note. It's all over the place. We're excited on the watch list as well if you want to go find some of those delivery numbers. But I'm sure Sharif's going to talk about some of this soon.
Yeah, Apple also on watch today, Sean, as it is reported that they're scaling back the production of the Vision Pro due to design challenges, or so the Financial Times report. You'll recall they weren't going to make too many of these anyway, 350,000, what was slated to be produced in Q1 of 2024, only to be released in the United States at first. We have a move here today, guys. It's actually a bit of an outlier to the downside, down 0.25%.
Yeah, I mean, sure, like I suppose so, but just try to remember how strong it was last week, right? So all things with a grain of salt, try to remember it's at all-time highs right now, so that you would get at least a little bit of profit taking on that note. I don't think that's terribly surprising. All eyes on, we closed at 193.97, so effectively 194. That's right up top here. Oh, I lost my second line. That's weird. It's on this chart. So this is around 191. We always talk, that's that $3 trillion mark. And if we see that today, a couple of things have happened. A move that I would not expect to the downside has happened on Apple. I think it's a little bit big for a half day. But that's the Alamo, that 191, maybe even into 190. I think that's an obvious support area. But 194 is going to come at the open. I would tend to think with that news, I could definitely see a fail breakout on Apple, or at least some resistance up there on a holiday shortened day, like just like a scalpable level at 194. If you're looking for something maybe to just get in and out of some shorts and make 20, 30 cents on, if it holds 194 even one time, I think that trade becomes available for Apple. Anything big to the downside, and I want that 3 trillion mark to be the line in the sand for me. The trend has been unbroken. There was a lot of crazy wicks on my chart, but yeah, wicks or not, it doesn't matter. You can tell an upward trend when you see it. There has been very few like back-to-back or descending weeks that the stock has had, like maybe one when it got to 170. I'd expect if we got to 200, maybe you could see something like that. 195 hasn't even happened yet. So yeah, I'll be looking at 194. There might be some scalp shorts in there, but if there's a big trade to be had on Apple, I'm almost hoping it's a dip buy, because I'd love to see that 3 trillion mark, at least get close enough to it to pile some longs in front. I couldn't see that breaking on a holiday.
Yeah, we wrote down, no, I don't think that, I mean, unless something happens with the NASDAQ here, I don't think people are going to be flying to short Apple through any of these levels. So I'm the same way, man. 191 long, we had 7 straight up days, we're above 190 now. It's been an absolute monster as Apple, so I think you just continue to watch that. We have Tesla, Apple, XPEV, CCL, it's all on here, all on the sticky note. You guys can go find it. Thanks for that on Friday. We had over 13,000 views on the sticky note alone, so that's good. So there it is right there. We'll go customization. We're going to get rid of this bad wick here so we can actually look at it. 193.50 there. Neil, bless you. I didn't see you got that on the mic. That was pretty good. Nice dip down there. Basically just being bought up. I mean, we went to 193, kind of the opposite of what Tesla's doing. Tesla's breaking through 276 right now. And again, it's not, forget about all this. But this is right here. I don't even know what this is, up to 195. That's not right. That's probably dark. Yeah, these are some D prints up there. But 193 has been holding, so if that's going to be what we're going to talk about, then that's what we're going to talk about. And I'm going to watch out for Apple there at that 193 level. But ultimately, I feel like I don't think I'm going to make a lot of money on Apple today, because it really needs to get down to load up on it. I just feel like this 193 is something to watch. So I will sit there and buy some 193s today, especially if this market's just going to hover around. You know, grab Apple, small dividend, great company. India's there, China's there. Anytime I hear a report of, oh, they're having problems with supply, that's all a bunch of shit, because they're not. They're going to be fine with all of this. All these guys just want to keep downgrading this stock and keep giving you reasons to try to think it's going lower. It's not. People have missed the boat on Apple for sure. There's been too much money on the sidelines, and now they're waking up and they're seeing Apple at 194. So let's talk about possibly, you know, cutting back supply or having issues building up this VR headset, which I don't think they're going to sell a whole bunch anyways. So for me, if you're buying this name because of VR, I think it's probably wrong. Why you want to buy it is for the big dog, right? The #1 selling phone worldwide. You know, they've got the ecosystem, they've got everybody in there, and that's just what Apple's doing. And you know, if the market's going to go higher, Apple is such a huge part of the market right now. It's going to take a huge swing to knock these guys down. It's just, are people selling them in their ETFs right now? I don't think so. The market is ripping. I mean, let's call it for what it is. The NASDAQ's here at 15,350 right now, trying to take out 50. I mean, the NASDAQ has just been so hot fire, like super hot fire. Yeah, okay.
But I'm not a rapper.
Yeah, so that's the thing, right? So good, Neil, thanks. But right there, 15.5, like we're almost back. You know, we're almost here. So, I mean, you just got to get through 15.4. Then we could test this 15.5 today. It's 100 handles higher, you know, from basically from where we are right now. That's 15.470. So if we're going to talk about the NASDAQ ripping higher, then you got to get a reason to get Apple down. And honestly, I don't think this is one, man. I mean, VR is great. The iPad, although they didn't have a great quarter on the iPad, that's still going to get sold. The thing is, heading into summer, I could see it being a little bit of a dull period, obviously there for Apple. But then Come September, you got the new phone, you got the kids back to school, you got MacBooks, you got iPads, and now apparently we have something you can put on your face. So that should be exciting. I'm excited for it. And by the way, Tesla, I know we're going to get to Tesla, well, we have already had, but we'll be talking about Tesla a lot. It just bounced off 260 pretty good. Or sorry, 260. 270, 260, yeah, that'd be nice again. 276 right there. So we got a nice bounce off 276. Maybe it's giving you the bottom. We wrote down 275, but it just bounced pretty good there off 276. But to think that this move is done, I mean, this is going to be a pretty good day for Tesla. When you start up 6%, a lot of room to go up, a lot of room to fall down. So there's going to be some trades here today. Let's try to be patient. If we can afford to do it, let's sit on our hands for a couple minutes here off the open, get some good levels. But I know I'm dip buying in Tesla, and I know I'm dip buying in Apple.
Yeah, just to add some context, Sean's comment there, 225 million iPhones were sold last year in 2022. That's the approximation. All right, Baidu, guys, up 3 3/4% here on the news that they're officially releasing their generative AI bot, Ernie, into the App Store. There were multiple fake releases of this Ernie, apparently prompting Baidu to sue Apple to have them removed. In any event, it's up $142 right now on decent volumes. Also, should be noted, Chinese ADRs also on watch in general, as we got a report over the weekend stating that the Chinese quantitative easing measures that the government has been employing there have not really been working out as expected, and more quantitative easing and cuts possibly to interest rates expected there in China.
They really got the name wrong with this Ernie thing, because Ernie and Bert, like Bert's the one who's like more robotic, and like, I don't know, between the two, like Ernie's like the more laughable, like fun guy, and Bert's, you know, like the hard ass who's just a complete robot. So that doesn't make any sense to me. Oh, you could almost short the stock for that. But that being, I know I hate to say this over and over again. We keep talking about, like, look at the EV names, look at what's moving today, and try to focus on that. Now, Baidu's chart looks fine in terms of having some room to go another couple of dollars here, but there is, I see 38,000 shares of volume, and right now, like, I'll show you my level 2, which I guarantee you, I shouldn't say the word guarantee because I'm going to be wrong about this the second it happens. Like, you're not even going to see, I'll pull it up, you won't see a print go off. There's actually, someone's willing to offer 18,000 shares when it's done 38,000, and they're basically almost at the spot price. So, like, this is really not moving. Wait for the open. I wouldn't have breakouts set on this. Like, that could be a huge trap. Like, as I said, there is room to 144, maybe even more interesting if it breaks out from there. But yeah, this might be a wake me. If something crazy happens and it gets to 145, there's room to 150. But a day like today, like, it would have to run $2.50 and then break out a significant level to continue to go. That's exactly what I don't want to do. If a stock's in the middle like this, I'm generally thinking dip buy or fade off the top, and there's no liquidity right now. So let's see it open up. Maybe there's a 145 level when we get to the open. I don't think Baidu is going to be on the radar for me today. However, knowing where this is sitting and seeing that 145 and 150 level just sitting there, well, you might want to set an alert for this for the end of the week or for Wednesday, Thursday, Friday on a day where we might have a better chance to get through this level at a 150 and be able to trade off of it. So file this one away, maybe set an alert for 150 or 149 or something like that later on in the week. I'm skeptical we get there today.
Yeah, the only one that okay, well, my daily chart's not really working out here for Alibaba for some reason, but the name that I wanted to look at, just on that side note, I didn't even look at Alibaba or at Baidu. I always try to look at Alibaba. It's just gapping above through this 84 today. So there is something, at least it looks decent here. If you can come back into this 84.50, you know, that's been the bottom, it's been the bottom, it's been the bottom, and then now we're breaking above it. So this was actually a breaking trade that I wanted to take today if we were down below 84 to start, and then to take out this 84.50 and then a possible run to like 87 here. I still think that that's possible even today. I mean, it might not be 87 on a half day, but maybe 86, 86.50, something like that, now that you're starting to break back above some of these levels. So again, I'm losing some data here, but what I'm trying to get at is this bottom here of 83 was just been made over the last couple of days, and now you're gapping a little bit higher. So what I try to do is look a little bit lower and figure out where is there going to be some support in case we come back into this level, hold it, then gap higher. Well, it's giving it to us. It's 84. So 84 is a long here on Alibaba, in my opinion. You're at 85 now, a little bit of a dip down. You can start buying at 84.50, giving it to that 84. So let's just wait to see here with some of that good news about China. We'll see if it continues forward, man. Up 2.5% right now. Actually, coming up right now is going to be Amazon Prime Day, which always makes people think a little bit about Alibaba Singles Day. So that's not till February, but we're going to wait to see what happens here with Alibaba. I like it. It's trying to gap a little bit higher. Oh, now the day chart is working out a little bit. So it's that trap candle right down there that day that people might have been underneath 85. They busted it a little bit lower. They got trapped down there on that one day. That looks like a gravestone to me. Now let's see if it can complete that back up here to 94, 95. So that's good. Boom it back up to the upside. Look, same trap right there as well. Tried to get underneath, didn't. Trapped, boom, upside. So let's wait to see if that's a trap candle right into there, that daily 2 days ago. Now we'll see if it can get a little bit higher there on Alibaba. So, hey, you don't want to be short this name when a report comes out about China, do you? I don't know. We'll see. $80, you still have good support here. So we're going to watch out for Alibaba off that little yesterday day move on Friday, now gapping to the upside. Let's see if it can hold that 84.50, 84 area here on Alibaba.
All right, guys, the pre-market show brought to you by Search Trader. Account funding of up to $1 million. Keep up to 90% of the profit. Enjoy relaxed trading rules with 8% max trailing drawdown on all new accounts. Use the code TTV for 10% off. Shout out to the folks there at Search Trader. Let's jump right into the rundown. Yeah, Sean teasing this one. Tesla up big. It was up bigger, up 5 1/3 now. Total deliveries for the quarter, 466,140. Total production, though, 479,700. They have an excess of inventory. We know that they have been adjusting prices all year long, and margins have been getting squeezed. What's the look today on Tesla, guys?
Oh, we went over it.
Never heard of it.
Yeah, I don't think you're going to get maybe. We're at 276 now. We're at 276 now. That 280 level, you get a little bit further away from that every single second we get closer to the open here. So I feel like you're going for the dip by hunting. But I wanted to pull up the weekly chart just to point something out for Tesla. This is just my Trade Ideas layout. It has the weekly a little bit cleaner here. You haven't even gotten, more than 10% away from the next peak on the weekly, which is this 300 to 315 area. So this little bull run that Tesla's been on, like when you make moves like this, you generally speaking are getting there, right? If this top breaks up, like I always see people saying, oh, the shorts are getting squeezed on Tesla, the shorts, this and that. Okay, fine. Yeah, when we broke out down here about 215 and the 200 period went, that was definitely a pressure point. But we're getting to another one once you get above $300. And it would make sense to me that that's where the next place this goes off this consolidation. So from a higher time frame, if 280 goes, you've got 10% upside, and then you get into that next range on the weekly chart, which makes a lot of sense. This is the 15. That's that ugly wick there. You can see a bit of a double top being formed at 280. This is hence why you're looking at a dip buy situation today, because you've reached that double top. If you pull all the way back in, on that first time failure at that 280, the first consolidation was right here at about 270 was resistance, and then that top there is 66. So technically, I'd look at 66 and 70 as the spots that I'd be looking for the dip buy. There you go, there's 70. I don't think we see 266 today. That seems very extreme to me on a holiday, but 270 seems possible. So if we see anywhere near that, I think that's where you go for the long. Obviously, a 280 break is in play at some point today, though maybe not specifically at 930. Given that we're at 76 here. Maybe even the 275 defense just because it sits in the middle. It's not on there, but because we'll talk about Xpeng, but Rivian also came out with the delivery, 14,000 manufactured and delivered, and 12.6 delivered was the previous quarter. This just broke out through $18. So Rivian's definitely going. It's actually the one that's up the most now because this just happened like a couple of seconds ago. Approaching 10% to the upside is Rivian. All of these names have been breaking off the bottom that are not Tesla. And remember, we talked about this breaking through that 16. 20 to 21 is next resistance here. I think you're looking long till it's wrong on this. Usually you can get a dip buy. I think that was your chance at 17. I'd be looking at 1760, 1770 in here at the open. If it doesn't hold on to the 17.5, it's an easy out there.
All right, we finally got into Rivian a little bit late here, obviously breaking through $18. I mean, it's up 8%. We're going to be looking to see if we can do anything here. This is a very, very, just to get in above 18 so we can watch it. We're going to watch out for here 1720, 1750, something back into here. I mean, looking at the chart, you can't really, now you're just kind of playing momentum. I mean, there isn't a whole heck of a lot to do here on Rivian. I mean, either it pulls back and gets you long near the 1720, 1740, maybe even the 1750 area. But I'm gonna get long now on Rivian and just see what happens. So again, a very, very basic position right now to start with as we break above $18. Trying to buy some pullbacks in this, and Rivian's numbers are pretty good. Q2 vehicle production, 14,000 versus 4,000. Deliveries, I mean, there's going to be a couple hundreds in here that I'm not talking about, but deliveries 12 versus 4, so 12,000 versus 4,000 on deliveries plus production. So basically both numbers up 10 grand, about 3x larger, year over year 7.9. So it's good, man. And they affirmed FY23 vehicle production of 50,000. So forward year 23 affirmed that they're going to hit those goals. And of course they are. They just did 14,000 production in the quarter. So 14 gets you, 14 and a quarter gets you 28 times 4 gets you that 56, or times 2, but 4 and a quarter brings you back to 56, and they've affirmed their 50,000 guidance. So let's just wait to see. Again, early position. It's not looking great right now. We're probably in this a little bit too early, but we're not in this that much. So we're going to watch out for 1750, 1760 here. It's coming in right now. I mean, what the heck? I'm just going to buy some right now again as we get this dip down into the 70s. Oh, man, we'll buy some 82s there, see what happens. So there it is. So, okay, we just bought it, but we just bought some 82s. Now, all right, now it's shooting back up. Now we're flat on the stock right there off a little average in. So let's start to trade Rivian a little bit aggressively here. It's 9:06. We're getting ready to rock and roll. I mean, if you're waiting around for 256 or 260 or 266, I don't see Tesla getting anywhere near there today. But again, the market could fall down. I don't see it happening. July 4th tomorrow should be a pretty dead sort of opportunity to trade today. With a dead market, you should be able to pick up Tesla a little bit lower. If it does come back in, I think 275 would be a great long. Let's just play the momentum. I feel like you're going to miss the boat here. Probably takes out 278 early and then just continues to climb. Tesla's already breached above its high right there of its high is 280. So let's see if we can hit that level. But, we were just there. Why? I mean, we're at 276 and we started the show here. We were at like 279. It has dripped down here, obviously, since I wrote the sticky note. But when we did, man, we were up here at 278, 279. It just looked pretty obvious that we were going to take out that 280. So I still think it is pretty obvious. There goes Rivian right back to the highs. Let's just take something out at 0405. It was a great reload for me there on Rivian. So we took some more shares. Let's see if we can get up. We'll get some out at 1805, well, we're waiting at 1808, which is the recent high right there that we just touched. So we'll see if we get to 15s and higher here on Rivian. I want to be long this name with a light market probably. Let's stay long Rivian, and there it is. So hopefully we can continue this upside move, and we'll get out at 8s and we'll get out at 15s, and we can sort of start making our day here early before the market even opened.
Another EV name here on watch, XPEV. We talked about this one earlier in the pre-market show. It's up 7.15%. With a good catalyst, 8,620 smart EVs delivered last month, which is a 15% increase month over month, with its P7 model seeing a 17% increase. More importantly, though, the quarter-over-quarter increase is 27%, and it has now delivered 300,000 smart EVs since production. Can't really break through 15 today, guys. About 14.5 below VWAP now. What's the look on XPEV?
Dwindling. The volume actually decent. It's over 1 million shares, but it's been dwindling and not really doing much of anything, getting off the hump. So the outlook at the open isn't necessarily as rosy, but this break has been ridiculous because since it made that $12 break, the fact that you're even testing 15 by the open of the second day of this break is impressive enough on its own. And because of that, I think there might be a little bit of a fade and sell going on here at that $15 level. Always a chance we get back there at the open. If we get back there at the open, I think you're looking for I don't know, it probably gives you one chance at a dip and then a break. So a 15 fail break, a 15 short certainly seems like it would set up. If we start filling in the gap, I would not want to be fighting this. If it tests 14 even, I could easily see that breaking and coming right back to the Friday close. We've seen Chinese EV names on delivery. Sometimes NIO will do this, where at 9:30, it's just all profit taking before it catches a bit of a bid. And being really early trying to catch that bid is dangerous. And generally speaking, it's easy to get run over on the Chinese ADRs right at 9:30 when they dip. So I would not be sitting there thinking 14 is some level that has to hold, especially when the 13.5 area is where you had the consolidation there on Friday. I'd almost prefer if it did break 14 if you're looking for a dip buy and then try to catch it off yesterday's close. 15 seemed like it would have been a breakout when I sat down, but now you're trading at 14.30. That's just how it is sometimes. You know, like it looked like it had a decent chance to be right there consolidating up around that high, and you'd have a clean even dollar break with support underneath. Now that's not what it's looking like, at least for now, on XPeng. The story is going to be elsewhere, unless we get back to that price early at the open.
All right. I mean, XPeng have just been on quite a run here on the daily chart. I mean, like I just said, man, you're up 50% in a week. That seems to be way too much. But hey, the deliveries are there, and when these Chinese names get going, they get going, and that's just how it works. So you can sit in here and try to short this name. I don't think that's the right play, or you can wait to see about a long. And I don't know. It's already gapping upside. I mean, obviously, something in here. I think you could just get. So my strategy for this, I wrote down 14 long. I don't know. I don't really trade these that often, so I just look at it like this. Like if you just take away the symbol and you look at how this is moving, obviously we want to get long. You keep on pushing higher, and then today you're opening up higher again. So like I just said about days going consecutive days green, if you can get something back, I mean, the close was 1350. If you're going to go long anywhere in here, I just think you just play the long off of 1350. So however many shares you want to get, if it breaks below here, then that's sort of where you want to possibly understand that there's going to be some danger, because it shouldn't close the gap on those deliveries. So if the deliveries were good and they want to buy these Chinese EVs, I've already talked to you about why I don't think the Chinese EV market is a great one, but you know, that doesn't matter. The deliveries are coming through. China's a huge market. India's a huge market. I mean, over there in Asia, they don't necessarily need to sell anything here in North America, right? So it's a nice move to the upside here. I always think about the geopolitical concerns that are here, but that's XPeng. I think you want to trade the name. It's been the strongest one. It's up 8. What did you say NIO was up? Not that much, right? 3, yeah, 4, so that's good.
5.
And then the other name that I know that the guy on the desk likes is Li Auto. Man, you missed that one, Sharif, but you did call it, though. So there, he did like this name. Hard to get into it when it's ripping like this, that's for sure. And then when you like a name and it's taking out levels, then you have to wait for pullbacks. And I don't know if there's going to be any pullback in any of these Chinese names for a minute. So let's just let it continue to make the move higher. For me, you trade the volume. That's going to be XPeng or NIO. So 2 million right now on XPeng. And then NIO has probably something similar, 2 million as well. And then just checking on the imbalance locator. Often I'd like to see buys in this because that means that hopefully this gets exhausted. There's some nice buys that happen early. Then it pulls back where there's some sellers taking profit. Then once it makes that bottom off the pullback, that's when you want to go long. So I actually like to see buys up here, even though I like to go long, because to me, there's something in the momentum and in the demand supply here to go back up to the upside. And part of that is this imbalance locator. So hopefully we can make a move up, sort of get, not wash people out, but if there is a big buy off the open, it'll hit. Then you'll see sellers come in. Then we'll hopefully build a bottom. Then we can go off on normal trade. But there it is right now. Oh, we just missed it. We just missed 08. So we're at 08 here on Rivian. Hopefully we can get a little bit higher. For me, though, although we talked about Chinese EVs, all my attention now, because I'm in Rivian, is going to be on Rivian. So I could see myself not getting into XPeng at all and just watching out for this Rivian trade. So I'm going to find some more key levels on this, especially if we can't get hit on the high side. We got to watch out for this maybe 1720 as a spot to eventually get stopped out here on Rivian. But I don't want to talk about getting stopped out. It's 9:13 and we just started our trade. So we're in Rivian right now. It's 7 cents in the money, but we obviously looking to break that top, break higher on this one. NASDAQ imbalances come out at 925, so nothing to compare to right now. We'll see what happens with Rivian, unless, of course, someone has an early look that they can tell me about.
AstraZeneca, the British pharmaceutical company, down decidedly 6 2/3 today as reports come out that its collaboration with Daiichi Sankyo showed an actual slower progression of lung cancer in the late-stage trial, but not to the levels promised or anticipated here by analysts. The stock taking it on the chin, like I said, 6 2/3, closed out Friday at 71.50, currently trading at 66.79, guys.
Yeah, the good sign for it, if there is one today, well, we'll see. Actually, just tucked underneath it again. It might be that you have a line of the last line of support. Let's zoom back out so you can see the 200 period on this stock. It's been good support, at least the last little run here. Failed break of the 200 period moving average back in February, and then you saw the breakout, gets back over the 50. Then you actually don't really hang out as deeply underneath it before making another bounce to highs. If you don't hold on to that one today, this could be, this could definitely be a shortable stock, because your 67 change is that 200 period moving average, and it was trying to consolidate above that before we came on, and now you're actually doing the opposite. So at the open, if it reclaims 67, I wouldn't want to be fighting this to the short side, just acknowledging where this is on the higher time frame. But if it never gets above 67, it just feels like no buyers, and the buyers of support of that can get it to the bottom of the channel. I don't want to say pretty darn quickly, but at least in terms of a trend trade. On day one, I wouldn't want to be fighting that one. So that little litmus is going to be 67 at the open. If you're looking for something to short, the problem with that level is you pop the level 2 up, and you could just, if you do this at the open, you're very likely just going to get wicked out regardless of what happens. Like, this is what you see between 67 and where we are right now. It's just not a lot of shares, not a lot of levels. It's very easy to get whipped around at 9:30. I don't think you want that. If you're looking for it to be a short underneath 67, allow it to open up, see where the volume is at, give it a couple of minutes, and set up a trade in there, and it'll make a little bit more sense. So there's size on Rivian right now. I'm pretty sure that's what I heard Greg just say, following it to the upside. Hopefully this just changed. No, it stayed on AstraZeneca. That's kind of annoying. But there's size at 18.05. So today, this is going to matter maybe a little bit more than normal, because you're going to have lighter volume, but a bit of a buyer there stepping up at 18.05 there on Rivian. AstraZeneca, if the market wants to flush, it's one of the weakest stocks out there today. So if we do end up with a red day, that's the time to go look for AstraZeneca slightly after the open, because there's no liquidity on that one.
Yeah, I haven't even looked at AstraZeneca. It's nice to see Rivian right now, so let's do this. Money. I mean, I told you I'm here for that. We're here to make money. That's the point of trading. So, nice move up there. Yes, sir. Early one. Okay, so there it is. There goes Rivian. We've already tweeted this out. We tweeted this out before we even had these positions, so there it goes. Nice move on Rivian, right up there to the upside. Let's just see what happens. It's only 9:17 right now. We've got it. We've got this one. Let's see if it continues to work here to the upside. That's that, man. We got something out. I told you at 08. Then we got a 13. So I mean, we can. Where am I sitting? I mean, I'm sitting at 20. We just got missed. Wow. How did I get missed there? Oh yeah, I'm on a paid gateway. If I would have used something free, probably. That's okay. There's going to be lots of action here today on Rivian, so let's just keep on putting our offers higher and higher and higher. I want to put one at 18.50 right now. We're going to get hit at 18.30. You can see, or 18.20. You can see right now this is Ethereum starting to go back upside right now as well. It's not huge. This is just minutes, so that's just a $2. But up to 19.65 right now goes ETH, and then Bitcoin as well, 30,640 here. So market's starting to blast off just a little bit. Honestly, I took 10% twice there, so we're at a 20% of this. Let's see if it continues to make a move higher here, but it's Rivian. We're going to go 1 for 1 to start. Doesn't mean this name can't fall down. We're only out at 20%. So nice move to the upside. We're long at 92. It's a quick 20-cent winner right here on Rivian. So, hey, 20 cents in the pre-market is pretty decent. We could get a pullback. It's only 9.18 right now, so let's just stay calm. There is some big size here, obviously, coming through. That's 10,000 shares on the offer. That's a decent for pre-market. Let's see what happens here with Rivian. It seems like it doesn't want to take out that 10,000, but it's already done 3 million shares. So at 9.25, we're going to get the imbalances to come out from this one, as there's that size at 05. But again, you know, they're just kind of battling there. There's that size at 12, there's size at 05, whatever, man. That's why we got out at 20%. Still, no point in ringing the register now. We want a bigger trade on this, so let's wait to see if Rivian can't get us that. Funny that we just missed that fill at 20, but that's okay. We're still sitting there, see if we can get some more there. Rivian is a short to 0. Yeah, look, I think that Rivian, for sure, is not a great name. I mean, I've talked about all these EV names, man. The only name I'm in is Tesla and Fisker. Other than that, I don't own any Rivian shares or any of these Chinese EVs, nor do I plan to unless they get a lot lower than where they are now. We've definitely missed the ride up here on Rivian. I mean, Rivian was $13 5 days ago. Now it's $18. So again, that's almost 50%, well, 35% up in a week for Rivian, obviously helped by today. So, you know, let's not get too excited about this, but hey, when momentum's there, momentum's there. And I don't, let me just check here what the imbalance, what the short float is on it. Is it like 15%?
I want to say
RIVN.
22. I say that for everything.
Yeah, well, you're wrong.
No.
16. Yeah, okay, not bad. So I was a pretty good guess. I didn't think
my favorite number, honestly. I had no idea. Really.
Yeah. I didn't have an idea either. So 15 versus 16, pretty good and around there. So we're about the same levels here for that. So it's not a huge short float for Rivian, but enough to probably get it sparked upside a little bit.
Before we move on, because if we're look, you know it's the EV names that are moving right now, and we're going to talk about coin in a second. There is a name that is 22% short. It's Sharif's mad because he just said I was going to do that. It's Lucid that's 22%. Lucid is also up 3.5% and trying to make a break off $7. I'm sorry, Sharif. What do you want me to do? Like it's moving. It's above the 50 period. You have a double top potential break here at the open, and the double top would be at about 720. This is a name that we're trying to long above 7, and it just could not hold above 7. Now you are. So I mean, if it breaks 7 even, that's a pretty easy out there. Just give it a couple of shekels underneath $7 and look for the top rate. But this one has 22% short float.
I was going to point out the irony, Neil, that Lucid got a price target downgrade from Citigroup today to $8, yet it's up 3.5%. Not Coinbase related, but good to know. ETH, guys, up 2 1/3. It is definitely the outlier today, as Coinbase is only up 0.25%. So ETH, the outlier, again, up 2 1/3. Looking at Coinbase for a possible equity play, it's also up 1%. We have a local top here, though, that we got to on Friday, 74.50, guys. Currently above Friday's close at 71.50. We're dancing above 72.
Yeah, look, 75, I suppose, look, if it gets there, I just can't see any way I'm not attempting to short that one. You saw what happened on Friday up in front of 75. It's a local high, double top. Support could be at 72. I don't know if I want to guess that it's going to hold up there. That was sort of resistance. It could turn into support if that breaks down. I think there's 68. But all signs are pointing to the 75 level being the key one today, and definitely this week. So until we break it, this is a pretty big gap. I don't want to call it a double top on the daily because this was more like 72, 73. But above 75, it's got a double top at like $85. Once it's holding above 75 even, this could be another squeeze long situation for Coinbase, but until it breaks 75, it is what it is. You know, I want to short that level. If we get there today, it's not a guarantee that we do.
Yeah, I mean, we've already talked about HUD 8 a little bit there, and then on the crypto side of things, I mean, I still like what Coinbase is doing as it continues to go higher. I just don't think as an investment that you really want to be in this. There's too many regulatory issues, but hey, we've been completely wrong on that one. From 50 up to 75, you want to talk about names that are going absolutely crazy right now, it is Coinbase. I mean, maybe they're the only player left in the game. I mean, if they can get their stuff together, then yeah, maybe this is the winner because Binance is having some problems there. We've seen FTX go by the wayside. There's going to be some exchanges that are going to have to survive, and maybe it's Coinbase. I mean, from 50 up to 70, I mean, that's a great run there in just under a month. You're getting 50% return in under a month. I mean, these are great names to trade, and they continue to work. So I don't know, just staying in front of this train seems a little bit odd, but I still think that, hey, with all the good movements coming, we've still not broken through basically 74.50. I mean, sure, in the pre-market there, you get a little excited on Friday, I guess, that was right there at 75, but still to then, we're still making moves down. Now you're at 72. So until we get back up here, I think it's a short. Where are their longs? I don't want to go long. I mean, I'll watch Bitcoin. If Bitcoin tanks and we can find a bottom there, maybe and Coinbase is moving outside of Bitcoin, then I could see myself trying to get some sort of like an arbitrage maybe. But Coinbase really nicely done to the upside. Bitcoin's up also this year about 70% from its bottoms, giving its bottoms at 15 up to 31 right now. So 60 to 70% up on Bitcoin this year. So yeah, Coinbase nicely done since January. January bottom of $32. Like, to pick something up there, we've already been to this top. So let's see if we can take it again. But look at this. Just back to April, we've already been here. So, you know, you can just overlay this with Bitcoin. It'll look very familiar. Let's wait to see if 73 can hold here on Coinbase. But for me, nah, it's a pass for now. Looking at Tesla, looking at Apple, looking at Rivian.
By TradeZero, the award-winning broker-dealer specializing in short selling. TradeZero empowers active traders with fast market access, multiple trading platforms, high-quality customer service, and has an extensive inventory of locates and pre-borrows on many non-easy-to-borrow stocks. Go to tradezero.co/tradertv.live. Guys, let's look at the last, but certainly not least, PLM, the small cap capper de jour today, looking to be bought here by Glencore PLC. They're looking to buy the 71 million shares left that they don't already own. They already own 82.26% of Polymet PLM. They're offering $2.11 per share. Neil, what is the look on this?
I mean, this is, for me, hopefully it's as easy as if it gets above $2, it has a ceiling of around that 11. If it breaks the 180, I have a stop on the 180 had size on it, so that's why I went 183 long. I have a stop to lose 4 cents, but if you're averaging, you know, taking shares out there at 87 and 88 and 89 and then at 95, like risk to reward, yeah, you should be stopping that out tight. If you're giving that all the way to 170, risk to reward doesn't work. But if it breaks 180, I want the 170 to try to go for the long. The only reason it would break 170 downside is it's not a firm offer and that hasn't been accepted by the board or anything like that. But owning 82%, you got to figure decent chance of that closing. If we can get a floor like that, then longs off 80 are great, or longs off the 170 level. I do not want the long above $2 on the stock. If it's above 2, I'm not looking for long. With that 211, even if it decides to go ham, I just don't want any part of it when the reason that this is up is a cash deal at $2.11. So you won't see me chasing any longs on this. And if it breaks 170 to the downside, I suppose 150 would come into play. I just want to point out, if early bird gets the worm, I was not in here early enough. If you had simply read this press release and saw it trading at about 7 to 7.10, you could have been buying the stock underneath $1.50. Quite frankly, knowing that the news was that it's getting an offer to be bought for $2.11 by the company that already owns 82%, and you could have been buying this at $1.50. Every now and then you see opportunities like that. I've seen that kind of an opportunity twice in the last 10 years that I've been trading, where it's almost nothing zero risk, but it's as close enough to that as you'll ever see. Every now and then the market is a little bit slow to catch up to one of these things. So we'll see what happens, but I think a dip into 180, 170, those are the two levels I'm looking long. Nothing, I'm not buying above $2 on this particular name. I want to get to one other name here that we haven't talked about. Ran on Friday. Okay, ran briefly on Friday before eventually tanking, and that is SoFi. You know, the wild trade. I think there was it 2 halts or 1 halt? Maybe it was just the 1 halt on SoFi. So halted to the downside, then opened back up. I don't think there was a halt after that. Came all the way back in a double bottom here at $8.30-ish. So this is still nicely above $8 support, but if it breaks $8.30, there's some room for it to get down to $8, or at least into that range that we saw. And if $8.30 holds, even if like a slight relief rally, like if it holds onto this line, even a slight relief rally gets you into $8.55. So that's one that's on watch for me. If it holds the open, I think I look for the long in SoFi. Short could be in play as well. Oh, Virgin Galactic is the one. This is the thing I was thinking about shorting right away, but I wanted it back at that $4 level. So if we get a pop into 4.405, I want to short 4 with a stop at 5, and then see if it just continues the downward trend the last couple of days. Not a guarantee that we get the fill on this, but I want to. If it's not an EV name, then I want something that was very active in the final day or final 2 days of last week. That's why SoFi and Virgin Galactic are on my radar.
Okay, so with only a minute and a half now to go, you can see Apple's really starting to go off here. They had a buy imbalance, so that was good. I mean, it's starting to get, it's all again taken away now, but Apple did have a buy imbalance. Rivian had a sell imbalance, so that's pulling the other way. I don't really see, there was another one that had a big sell imbalance too, was Google. They're all getting paired off now, but down to 119. There's a big move for Google, down about 70, 80 cents. So those of you guys that are like, wow, there's something happening. Yeah, we told you about it. It's 925 and the imbalance has come out. So there it is, a nice downside move there for Google as well. We talked about Apple. Tesla, I didn't really see an imbalance come through on that, so it's probably a buy because there's a little bit of a shoot up, but nothing enough to hold it. Other than that, we just sit here and wait as we only have now 40 seconds to go. So I like that Amazon call. What's up, Chef Joe? We were looking at Amazon the other day, and I mean, now that you're above this 130, I think you might be right on something here. It does appear to be breaking out. That high on Amazon, let's get rid of that, we don't need it anymore, is right here right now, like 131-ish. Whatever, let's do a little bit of work on that, but that's 131.50, I believe, on that for Amazon. So with only a couple seconds to go, yeah, 131.50. Yeah, we'll watch Amazon though, Chef Joe. I think it's going to be a good trade today for sure, as it's starting to break out a little bit.
My countdown button is not working. Okay, so I'm going to count it down. Yours working?
Well, it's because you don't have Stream Deck open. All right, here we go, guys, with now, it is now open. There it is. Ring it, Ramin. Ring the bell, Ramin. Ring the bell, Ramin. Ring the bell. There she goes. Ringing the bell there. So thank you, Ramin, for that one. As we go, we are now open. So sorry about the countdown there. But okay, Amazon's starting to go upside a little bit now. Tesla, quickly. There it goes, man. We talked about that. Like, if you thought you were getting a dip by Tesla, you probably had to get it early. But we could still wait, man. That 275 coming through there. So 276, 275.80 right there, good level. So maybe we'll buy some 276s if we get a dip down on Tesla. Let's put a bid in there right now. We'll see.
Yeah, we got the dip. I like that 1750 level on Rivian, so I grabbed some 80s in there on RIV, and it just got to 18 and then pulled right back in a little bit. So it's back at that 18 level. Virgin Galactic's already headed to the downside. That's kind of annoying. You know I'm already in that PLM. It just popped right back into the mid-90s. I do not want to be holding this past $2, so I'm going to get an offer out in front of like $2. Go to like 198. If it pops that, take the money and run. You mentioned Tesla already trying to make a move. There was one other name that could come into play today. We usually talk a lot about NVIDIA, but not this morning. 420, we're well above that. It's bouncing off 425 almost exactly and already off to the races. So NVIDIA, ho-hum, once again, this stock absolutely does not want to stop. If we get anywhere sniffing 440 today, that's that local high on the daily.
Yeah, there goes everything.
Except for Virgin Galactic.
Yeah, well, that's, yeah, no.
Oh,
no
what a short.
Okay, so Apple's trying to go as well. Tesla's going. Tesla's gone already. We tried to get some 276s there. That did not happen either. We'll buy some AMD up here. I think it's a little bit high for where we're expecting it to go, but, oops, sorry, wrong stock. Still watching out for that. I mean, we talked about that. The Tesla long, we gave that to you guys at the beginning. Is just, did you want to take 277? That's really all that had to matter there. Okay, AMD is starting to shoot up a little bit. We do have some support. I may be at 15, so if it does break through 115.50, sorry, 115 flat. We're at 115.50 right now. That's where we'll probably look to exit this trade, and then maybe play off some of that 1440 or something like that at the bottom there for AMD. But I'm trying to get a little bit more.
Here
shares
comes
here.
280. Man.
Hopefully there, yeah, 280. Like we said, man, that Tesla is non-stoppable.
What can you do?
Well, you could just get long, which I think is the right trade. But we missed it. We talked about that. I wrote down 275. My bids are right in there right now for 276.25 and 275.25, but no dice on that one. Rivian absolutely ripping. You guys know about that. There we go. I mean, we have this trade. This is the money trade. We tweeted this out a hell of a long time ago. There it goes. Rivian to the upside, man. Stay strong and long on that name as we watch out here, because AMD's all the way down to 15 again. But one of my orders canceled. I should be long down here. We'll put some in.
Yeah, SoFi just popped in for me there. We're able to get, it broke the top of the channel. It might not have mattered which direction the stock broke, to be honest with you, because given it was underneath 830, was that double bottom. As long as we're breaking above, I'm going to stop it out at 830. That's kind of obvious there. I think it's a nice little level to work with. Lucid just attempted its break as well, so let's see if it can follow Rivian. Oh, Rivian just got to 1850. Nice. I just took some out at 1850. I think it got to at a level like that. It's just at the open on a holiday shortened day, you can see a lot of whipsaw action. So careful with your breakouts. Either they work quickly, have defined stop, take some profit, and run. So I got 720. I'm going to give that 1 to 7 even. That is Lucid. Apple's actually falling, by the way. So if you're looking for something weak that isn't Virgin Galactic, Apple testing 193. That could be a nice little level in there. It has to hold the open, though. This is the only name that's a big cap that's looking weak right now, is oddly enough Apple.
All right, guys. I mean, we're in it again, man. So there it is, man. We're barbecuing it up. Happy July 4th, everybody. Tomorrow, obviously, we're not going to be on tomorrow, but here we go, man. Pay for those hamburgers and hot dogs right now. Look at this AMD. It just dropped into 115. Not only did we talk about 115 coming through, but there it is right now. There it is. The early Dollar Club member right now is AMD. Rivian also joining the Dollar Club. I mean, this is up to 1870 right now and still Rip City. Man, we are nicely profitable today. This is why, like when I see traders not coming in on, I mean, look, if you're on vacation, that's one thing. But if you're sitting at home, mistake number one right now, because you never know where your money's going to come from. I mean, Tesla's up to 280. What a great day to trade today. Rivian, huge news, huge move up. AMD, boom, goes the dynamite to AMD. Let's get a piece out at 16 here. We just got one out at 80, so we'll get another one out at 16. You never know, man. Just stay with what's happening. You know, trade your book, trade what you know, and that's exactly what we're doing today. We're right back into AMD, and there it is, man. Nice smooth move up through 116. Here it comes, nice little pullback down though. Watch out for the market. You know, the biggest trade missed, and we talk about this every single day, is you just buy. Like I actually thought about this. It's like I wrote it down on this sticky note to get long, but then of course it's not going to dip to where you want it to. You got to punch the long. So now it could retrace back in. That's fine. But early, there's a lot of people that love Tesla and love these stocks. And when they get going, that's what you want to do. Sit there, take the long. Easy long today on Tesla, just missed. I mean, if you wanted the long, you haven't been wrong. Like the only time that maybe you got caught, I don't know, if you punched 279, maybe you're still flat on that trade. So that's the only damage spot there. But taking out this 276.50 there that happened in the pre-market, that was a great spot. Taking out 278 worked out for you. So far, so good on everything over here. But we're all good, man. I mean, we're 2 for 2 now with AMD and Rivian. And honestly, I'm just going to be happy with that. If there's more positions to come through, then we'll definitely take them. But I'm just watching these two, see if we can moon here.
Yeah, we got a lot breaking out. The market, we said the market might be a little bit flattish, but you got to pick your poison. It's all EVs right now. Lucid just got to 730 on the 720 break. Going to offer in front of 40 and 50 for obvious reasons. SoFi is starting to run a little bit here. I want 850 for the first leg on SoFi. If we get back into 850, 855 was Friday's top. So Friday afternoon high on SoFi. If it's going to make a relief rally, it's going to have to sustain through that. There was one stock I knew I wanted shorts of today, and quite frankly, there was one short available right at the open. It was Virgin Galactic. I don't have to tell you that they sold the news on the successful launch, but that's already tanked. It's going to start popping back upside right now. I do want a shorter rollover, but I don't necessarily want to stand in front of it. The market is not doing much. Let's see it, let it calm down if it gets a move back into the upside. But that just broke consolidation and got all the way down into the 360 range. So not a very good day for Virgin Galactic. We did not talk about a lot of big tech, but we did mention Coin. It broke that 75. It did not have size on the offer. I can tell you that because I was looking at it. There was nothing there. It just blew right through it. So Coin is definitely on one. If it holds on to 75, that'll entice me to maybe look at the long. But I want to give this one a chance to be a fail break there. As this is just, it feels like it's gone too far, but I suppose maybe not. Coinbase is joining the party to the upside. I'm only long right now, and the market might not be doing anything, but hey, the EVs are definitely running.
Yeah, and that's what we say, man. You gotta come in here. You never know what markets to trade. And there it is, man, the EV space. And that's why, like, if you're looking at the sticky note, it's Tesla, it's Apple, it's CCL. We could look at it, it's XPEV. We haven't even looked at XPEV yet, or CCL for that matter. But there's Rivian. Look at that take we just got, man. We just got $19 on Rivian. I mean, if you're trading this name, I know that you're all about Rivian right now. We've already tweeted that out, so let's just put it out here because we're getting out of Rivian. So if there's anybody that's wondering what our positions like right now, we absolutely destroyed that. We talked about getting in early. We got a great reload there, nice upside move there on Rivian. So that's a good one. AMD is kind of having a little bit of a stopping party here. You know, it went up to 116. We got good outs there all the way up here. Bunch of like that's 79, 85, 90s. You know, we did miss the 116 fill. I thought it was going to break view up there, so we took it another 10%. Now let's see if it can continue to work. We're at 116 now. Hopefully that does go higher, but we're right here right now. So, I mean, whether or not this market, people talking about possible market top, yeah, I mean, we're there on the NASDAQ. The NASDAQ's sort of barcoding around the top here of this 15.4. But hey, look at what's happening with AMD right now. The biggest trade of the day right there for me continues to work, man, as it's trying to get that dollar club right now. Up to 116, that's where I'm sitting. Hey, let's put a fill at the dollar club there. It'd be 116.20 or so. I still think, you know, once you take 116, then you'll probably get a little bit of a higher tick there, just like it tried to do. Sometimes you see those candles, and that's, to me, like that 16.10, you know, you don't wick higher like that and then for no reason. So there could be sellers up here. Let's just get out for 16 flat, hopefully, and then we'll regroup it. But we're still in more than half of this position still. As here it comes, right back up to 116. We're sitting here at 116 looking for that fill on AMD. So far, so good. Apple bottoming out as well at 193. That could have been a trade. Didn't take it. Just waiting for everything else to pop through here. Apple, AMD, Tesla, they're all really going. So good trade if anybody has these, man. Tesla looks like there's AMD, by the way, wants to break through.
Tesla did just tap close to 280 again. So it got up there to 279.5 the first time. The last move was solidly to 80 to 80s. I think that 280 break's happening. I am in one short now. I did start getting into Virgin Galactic underneath that 385 breakdown. So 280 is setting up for a breakout on Tesla. I'm not really shorting the level, quite frankly. If you short 280, you probably already won once. And if you've done that, maybe you take a second look at it. I just feel like if you don't do it the first time, I don't want to do it the second and third time just to possibly get run over at that 280 level. So I'm not going to be touching the short there. I want the short into the pre-market consolidation on Virgin Galactic. That much I'm sure of. CCL, by the way, that looked like it was headed down. Suddenly that 19 break is setting back up again. So bit of a pullback, held on to 1850. Now this is setting up for that 19 break again. So, I mean, travel's been good. The EVs have been strong, but that's the other name that went absolutely ham on Friday. It was an 18 break that was clean. Let's look for 19 to do a little bit of the same thing. Lucid's having trouble at that 730 mark. It's now double tapped it, so when it wicked above, I just took some more out there. It needs to make that next 10-cent move, right? $7 stock, every 10 cents is going to be gold. And one more for you, only because it's close to an even dollar itself. Intel up 1%. I mean, a lot of things are strong, but this is what 34 looks like on the daily chart. Last week, it was the top. It was a hard top, and each time, a couple times was up there, rejected it pretty heavily. So watch out for that 34. I think if I see size on the offer, risk a couple of pennies and try to short it would make some sense to me. If it was going to be an inside day, though the market doesn't break the tops, anything that's at a big, significant level, I don't mind taking a scalp trade, trying to short.
Yeah, we wrote down CCL short 19. We can have a look at that here. But there it is right now. There's the dollar club member. So now you're at $1.25 club member right now for AMD. We're just going to go 2 for 2 here on a half day. So we got a little bit more time to go. Then we're going to kick it over to the midday guys who will take you into 1 o'clock. And that's that. So here's AMD. Huge move to the upside. There's the dollar for that one. That's already a banger right there for us on AMD. So hopefully you got that. Looks like Tesla is trying to take down 280 as we speak. So there it is right now, 280 possible breaker. There it is. I mean, it's going to go through 280. So miss it or not. But I'm going to try to put an order to break that through a little bit, although it's probably going to go without me if I don't get this order in anytime soon. But there it is.
You got time.
Yeah, there it is. Yeah, well, we'll see. Right, it's in now. So here it goes, and there it goes right now. And for some reason, it does not punch me long there on Tesla.
You didn't get it?
No, I don't.
Oh, wow. I got 18s?
That's a great fill. I was trying to get up to 30 there on that one, so I missed it.
Edge A for the win.
There goes Tesla. So nice move for Tesla, but we don't have that one. We'll wait for it. It will pull back, of course. You know, on Tesla, you're going to have to wait for more than $1, I would think. So let's wait to see where this comes. But nice move pushing upside there on Tesla. You know, play the momentum in this name for sure. But like I said, I didn't get my order in on time. But there it goes, breaking through 280. So far, so good. Let's just see where we go.
Yeah, try to bring the register on that one. I don't know why countdown worked with that did, but look, 280 makes the break. It's already testing 281. The last couple of times we had an even break on Tesla, Sean's right, it did pull back. I remember because there was one that I missed the fill, and then just leave your bid in there, and it came back and retested the even dollar. So I put another bid to reload this at 280. I think you could see 85. The question is if you don't get 280, where to add if this is going to completely go ham, because this is what we're breaking out from. If it trends above 280, why not 85 and 90 kind of a day? So looking for places to add to this. 80 is the obvious answer. Now it's at 280, almost at 282.
Wow.
This is arrows up, man.
What
this
did
market
we tell
only
you about
wants to
this
the
trade?
upside. It's just one of those, like, Tesla's just absolutely insane at this point. Apple's not really moving. This is why we kept talking about
There's the
EVs
dollar
over
club.
and over again. Because that's where the jam was going to be today with those delivery numbers. And we haven't even mentioned all of them. Like, we haven't talked about NEO. Like, you could have just bought NEO at 10.10 at the open off the $10 level, and now it's churning to 10.35. So it didn't matter. I don't think it mattered which EV name you picked. There was an actionable trade in all of them. So congratulations if you're able to sniff out at least one of them. Come on, Virgin Galactic. I just believe the stock is going to die, but it's probably going to be, watch, that's going to be the hit today. Shorting Virgin Galactic is going to be the hit today. It's actually sneaked me into this one where it made a top, got me short the consolidation, and now tries to break that consolidation. I don't feel like fighting anything today where most of the longs have been easy. So I'll go tight stop on this. It's the only short I really liked at the open.
Yeah, we're not fighting anything. I mean, I might be done. Like I said, it's 9:45, and we just get Tesla joining the dollar club as well. So
another one.
that's for Tesla.
Another one.
That's for Rivian.
Another one.
And that's for AMD. So now we're done. I mean, each one of my trades is now in the money at $1.50. So while Rivian's $1.30, but there's Rivian up to 1903. That's another one. There's AMD. That's $1.40 in the money, and there's Tesla $1.80 now, and still ripping to the upside. Thank you, CJ. I'm glad you liked that one there. And again, we're trying to, I mean, this is great. This is fantastic. This is exactly the kind of trading that we're talking about, man. Check out this stick, check out whatever you guys want, but there's the market. It's a nice move to the upside. Now, I'm just going to stay long on Tesla. We've already taken out half for $1. Now we can just wait for it and see how far it goes up from now. There's CCL, and this is the craziest, stupidest thing about me here. We talked about shorting it through 19 and 20. Well, it goes up to 18.90. Should have been short CCL. Again, that's a pretty easy one there against 19, giving yourself 10 cents worth of risk. Look at the pullback, now justifying that move. So we'll wait to see on that one. AMD, we only have now 25%. A couple outs. We got one out at 116. We got 116.30 there as well. So hopefully that can continue to ride to the high side. And now Rivian joins the $1.50 club, reaching up to 19.20 right now. So yeah, I don't know. Congratulations to everybody that has any of these trades that we have on board right now. We're going to go 3 for 3. And then there goes Tesla now again, just taking out 283. Once it breaks like this on the daily, it becomes pretty clear that you got to take that move. So we're not in it early, but we're in it late, and there it goes, man. Now $2 club, we'll take it as it just continues to extend higher. We're well into where I thought we'd be here today, and it's only 9:45. So if I can even just hold my current net now, we'd be a pretty happy camper. As there goes Tesla again, now $3 in the money for this one, as it just continues to climb. So looks like I'll be fighting Mad Max over there today, as this guy's killing it.
I'm covering 85 in front of 85. Apple just broke support to the downside. That's the one thing that in big tech land is not going to the, well, I mean, I'm sure there's other things not going up. Just nothing I'm watching, quite frankly. But Apple breaking support. If we get to $20, that makes a lot of sense. 20 to 21 on Rivian. That's going to be the area I'd want to cover. It's going to be trailing stop time. It gave you that perfect kind of consolidation long. Right in there, stair step into the upside. I mean, what do you want? Stair step into the upside, consolidation off the previous high, and I'll look for a 20 out on that one. As it feels like it's just churning. It doesn't matter what you pick. I don't know where Sharif is, but CGC. Is that what you're going to talk about? Canopy?
Yeah, like I don't know.
Canopy. Well, go with my chart. Why is my chart not going? It's because I put NY. Canopy, of course, is on the NASDAQ. My bad. Canopy just made a bit of a move up 24%, approaching the 50-cent mark. Now, this is obviously a penny stock. You know what these levels matter. 50 cents, 75 cents, $1. Those are always going to be big. It is not going into a halt or anything like that. I saw someone in the chat saying that it was about to halt.
It should be.
I didn't see it, though go into. It didn't
look
look
like
like
it's under
it was
$1,
going to.
so I think that's.
I think they have different based on price some of the bands, right? So
Maybe.
I have to double check that rule, but
I'm
50
just going
cents.
to call for Sharif.
50 cents should be a big level. I do not know specifically what the news was because, quite frankly, I don't really look at that much. I pull up our news feeder and I don't really see anything. Just watch out for that 50 cents psychologically. So trailing stops got to be in on some of these. I am still in that PLM. I thought we'd have a much better opportunity to reload at better prices, but it's just holding out at 190. I think 180 and 170 is where I want to buy because I don't think this is hanging out above $2 anytime soon. That's just a cash deal at 211. Oh, here's a bit of a curl. So if we fail a break at 284, we just got to 84.22. If this fails between that and 85, this will be my out on Tesla.
Okay, yeah, I would love to get that. That's a huge monster move, man. Now everything. So we have 3 trades. We've already talked about the Dollar Club. They're all approaching $2, but Tesla is the one that is really moving up to 3 right now. But we'll just take another piece out of AMD here. Like, this has been a real runner for us. So there it is, a huge move to that upside there on AMD. Let's just make sure we take some out. Tesla bouncing off now.
I just got out. I had to punch out manually, but
good, nice, man. What'd you get out at?
I got 83. See, that's a bet. I got 83.46, but my trailing stop didn't trigger. I should have got like the 70s, but I'm out of Tesla. I'll take 3.5 and run on that one. It felt like if it failed between 84 and 85, it was going to dip by, and I think there's still a chance that maybe you can catch a dip or consolidation. It's already 950. Ring it, be happy, all that kind of good stuff out there. Rivian as well. Yeah, I mean, Rivian just at the exact same time as Tesla turned a little bit there and slowed down. Rivian pulls back, but it holds on to 19. If this holds 19, you kind of want to give it some room, but I don't know if it's going to do that. The one that's been lagging, I want to say, is Lucid, but I guess it's all relative. It just filled the high, so I got some out there in front of 40s, 738. That is going to be working. As I said, and I say it with a little bit of a sly chuckle because shorting Virgin Galactic was the best trade for me on Friday. Today, it is going to be my 5 or 6 cent hit here. I'm short the consolidation. If it breaks the top, then we take the L on that. SoFi's in the money, a couple of shekels. Oh, Apple's holding on to 193 again, so that could be interesting. It wicked underneath. This is a weak name today, relatively speaking, down 0.5% into a market that's up. Oh, come on, hold on to 193. What would this market do if Apple now starts to hold on to 193 at the bottom and runs with everything else? Then we're taking out tops. And this gets very, very interesting today. But I want to see a little confirmation above 193 on Apple when it's been a dog. And everything else that's long has been an easy long, right? Like, why fight anything to the long side if it's not easy? Forget about it. I don't want this while it's still testing lower. I haven't looked at Microsoft or anything like that just yet. And if you're still watching CGC, I have my eyes on it. If it gets to 50 cents and there's a big level up there, usually I would short a level like that first. I just realized we probably don't have free locates on this name, do we? No, we do not. Got to pay for locates on that.
All right. Oh, you have to pay for locates? Okay.
We don't have CGC for free, eh? Huh? Okay.
Yeah, maybe because it's under $1. It's probably not going to be very expensive. But Sharif's here now, so he's going to check out what's up with CGC. But look at Amazon now. Shout out to you, Chef Joe. You talked about this name possibly breaking out. And again, it's only up 0.66. So we do have a good opportunity here to take out this 131. I'm going to do that as well with you. You're probably already long, but we've ticked up here a couple times to 131.50. So we did have App Fabric was talked about last week there as a new tool for them, and it's starting to go now through 131.50. So let's just wait to see what happens here. I don't want to fade this name, but I could sort of see that on light volume. Maybe there could be something worth fading out on that trade. So we'll wait, though. If it does come through, great. I do like it. It is pumping now. Apple, obviously, Neil just talked about it. We're looking at Amazon right now as well. Google's starting to go just a little bit, but where's Amazon? 131. Okay, a little bit of a pullback in here. I think we could probably get long on Amazon. Maybe put a couple hundred shares down there near 131. See if that wants to fill us there, and then we'll trade it off of that. So that could be something there. 131 into this 130.80, the 50 period, maybe to give that up if it does go back down. So that's something that I'm going to look at right there. 130.80 or so on. Well, you can't really see that on Amazon if that comes through. We're also, we're also playing the 131.50 break. So if it comes back into 131, we'll take that long. But then ultimately, I don't want to hold it for too long. So if we do break back down below, hey, look, the market could go up forever or not. So you got to watch out for that here, because any pullbacks, we don't necessarily want to be stuck on anything pulling back. Rivian, though, anybody in that one, man, that's $1.50 in the money and still ripping up right now. Conversions under 100, debenture deal with institutional investor there for Canopy Growth. So thanks for that, Sharif. Conversions under 100 million debentures. So we'll find out more about that. I don't even know what that means yet, so we'll look into that. But so far, so good, man. We're out of AMD. We still have a piece, but we have 10% of AMD, 10% of Rivian, and a good call on Tesla. It's pulling back just a little bit. It did touch again up there, 284. Yeah. So that could be the high right now. I want to get longer on this, maybe 281 and change. But for right now, we're watching out for Amazon. That should be my next fill at some point.
So I definitely rang the register that I don't want to look this gift horse in the mouth. PLA made that move to $2. Anybody watching this for a small cap runner that wants more than what it's giving you, the offer is for $2.11. If it goes higher than that, then congrats. I just don't see a logical reason as to why it should trade higher than that price if Glencore is offering $2.11 and they own 82% of it. So the 80 long, it gave you one reload. Of course, at that time, I felt there were, we had Tesla and everything else that was going, but you could have had this one back in at that same 80 level. That's where I want to go long. Longs in front of 80, longs in front of 170, and those are the two places. Get out in front of $2 if you get your chance to do so. SoFi just hit 850, but I wanted to go back to CGC for a second. So it's holding nicely here at 47. One more push up. I did pay for locates. They were, 1/8 of 1 cent per share. So they're basically free for us to short here, day trade the world. If we do make a fail break or any of this high of the day and then turn around at 50 cents, I'd want to short like 49 something off that 50 level if we get a chance there on CGC. Not there just yet. Tesla, I think, could be a dip buy back at that 280 level. It did make that curl off 285, so we had our trailing stop in there. It worked out. And I just heard
Coinbase up 9% is what he said.
So 75 break would have been pretty good on Coinbase. Well, you know what? At least I didn't short it. There you go.
Yeah, there's always some.
There's always a silver lining, right?
Yes,
because
sir.
that short would have honestly lasted probably 5 seconds. I would have been short, not even. I would have been short, and it would have broken that stop, and I would have been out in like 1.5 seconds. And then just taking like a 40 or 50 cent hit in that time. So at least we didn't do that. Wait for it to show you resistance at a level before just jumping into any kind of a short. I'm not seeing anything up here. This is like squeeze central for it. Maybe 80, 85 on the daily, but are we going to, no way we're going to $85 today. Get the hell out of here. There's no way we get to 85 on this stock.
No, Bitcoin's 30,600, still the same.
So why
and
is
Ethereum is 19.6. So it's basically, that's the same prices that we talked.
I'm going to talk myself into
We talked about that earlier. Like, yeah, it is surprising how far it is down right now, how much it's rising. All right, so Amazon, we're long right here at 131. We talked about getting into this position. Let's just wait to see what does happen now. I don't know. We're waiting if Sharif sees anything on Microsoft or anything people are talking about. There's news there. Oh, yeah, there is news here. Wow, we missed this one. This is a couple minutes ago. Yep, exactly. Antitrust over Microsoft right now. Yeah, okay, about Teams and Office and things like that. So there obviously is some news there on that. So we will wait to see what exactly we can do about that. But right now, Tesla is dropping back in. We're going to go long against 280, right? So watch out for 280 here, possibly coming through again on that one. So that's going to be something to watch out for. 280 here on Tesla, as maybe we should have a look here at Microsoft and see what that wants to do. So, yep, so far so good here, but still need this market to go, right? So there goes Tesla downside. We will check out some softy. I don't know, did you look at it? How far down is this dipping even?
So a couple of things. Oh, no, am I going to get trailed on Rivian? Oh, you know what? Never mind. Oh. I just punched out manually on Rivian because I should have been trailed out. I'm not using that other stop order, by the way, because that's twice I've used it for trails and I've had to punch out manually. I'm out of Rivian, back underneath that 19 level. I just got 1890s out. So again, ring the register when you can. I forgot to mention SoFi. Well, I mentioned it, but I didn't show you guys the chart. Double bottom from Friday. was at about 830. It breaks out, holds 835. This is where I'm moving things up to. If we're holding above 40, I'm going to go with the long in front of 40 with an 835 stop. This is 855 here. That is local resistance from Friday afternoon. So if it cannot punch through that, this becomes a fail breakout through the high that I do not want to reload. Mara is going ham as well. So, I mean, Bitcoin's not doing a lot, but Coin and Mara are having some fun today. So I'm not standing in the front of any of those. Like, it's just, like, if you're up in the first half an hour on a half day, I feel like fighting one of these doesn't make a lot of sense. But it is $15 that is rounding itself out. Apple's back again above 193, but it's still looking at least a little bit weak. So I don't know. I don't feel the need to jump into this one on Apple. It's just not strong enough yet.
Holy guys, right now, wow. Yeah, meanwhile, things are working out over on this side, needless to say, because, wow, all right. So we got Tesla long 281, and then again, I mean, we talked about buying this dip, right? We got Tesla long 281 twice. 281.90, 281.80, and then 280.80. So, sorry. Those are my outs. We got 280.80 long, which is what we were talking about right there. And then something else a little bit lower, 280.70, right back up to 282. Let's take that over and over and over again. And then this is the big one for me. You might not, you know, it's up to you. Trade your own book. We just got some out on Amazon right there. It came right into the 50 period as discussed. And we loaded up. Like, loaded up to the fact that you got a chicken dinner winner right there for that trade. So there's Amazon. We are now long Amazon 130.85. Shout out to Obi in the back. I'm sure he's long somewhere around there as well. Nice dip buy for Amazon right there. And a nice dip buy for Tesla as well, man. I mean, there it is. Good trade. Let's see where it can go. AMD's really the one that's pulling back right now, so it's a good thing that we're out of a lot of these, but we're at the highest spot we've been at all day. We have 4 for 4 right now today. So, hey, today is a good day, and tomorrow's going to be even a better one. So I want to say happy 4th to everybody tomorrow. You know, enjoy your day. I'll enjoy it, but, you know, I love trading as well. So being here trading really means a lot. My kids start golf camp tomorrow, so that should be really exciting for them. And I'm going to be taking them to the golf camp, then taking the wife out for some breakfast, and then we'll pick the kids up and do something with them after that. But for right now, huge move upside, man. There goes Amazon, bang. Wow, good trade on that one. Shout out to Chef Joe there in our chat. We have the best chat for reasons, and that is because of the members. Thank you for that, Chef Joe. You brought up Amazon to me, and there it is right now. It's one of the top, might be one of the top stocks here on the day for sure. So there it is right there. What's up to Nunya Biz as well?
I think we're going to go to Sharif for the number in a quick second, but AHI's already halted twice. It just tagged 650 ups. I know a lot of you guys are watching this one. It would be a third halt if it can actually break out the recent high. Looks like this is just a low float runner. We looked at this, I think it was a couple of weeks ago. It is churning now, and if it gets through 680, looks like that local top there, things could go ham once again for that. I don't know, I guess we'll go to, we have it, Sharif? Yeah. Okay. There's one number today.
Lower than expected, Neil. 46 instead of the expected 47.2 last time around. 46.9. There goes the NQ from from the corner of my eye there, guys. We'll continue to watch and see how that does. Let's see what's happening now. No, Tesla, all the rage this morning. It is up big on monster delivery numbers with an 80% year over year on the quarter beat. Tesla knocked on the door of that 285 with a 276 low. Coinbase just starting to get going now. No specific catalyst on though. Ether was strong in the pre-market. Apparently on last week's news with respect to the SECs. Looks like, you know, just current denial of the application by Fidelity and BlackRock for the spot Bitcoin BTF. Anyway, coin at $78.77.99 high. Strong is coin. Rivian, Sean in this one. Rivian reporting better than expected Q2 deliveries. It produced about 14,000 cars. The market rewarding it today. 1940 high, trying to hold 19 now with a bit of a bottoming tail candle. 14% of the good is Rivian, guys.
No, this has it's more for me. Look, I love that Rivian trade. Obviously, we talked about that in the pre-market. Thanks for, Sharif gave us those delivery numbers at like 8:30 or whatever that was. And that really started Rivian to the upside.
Right at the open.
Right at the open. It was incredible. Yeah, well, the deliveries were a bit earlier, but it's really started to go.
The show I meant, so.
Yeah, the open of the show, yeah, 8:30, yeah. But there it is
Another
again,
one.
man. This is, we need to get maybe
Another
5
one.
of these as we go
Another
because
one.
there's another one. Look at Amazon, man. Dip buy. Oh, that's what it is. It's another Dollar Club member right now. So there goes Amazon, now in the money, $1 off that bottom, 130.80. We did average into it at 130, 150. What a great trade that appears to have been as well. Nice upside move there. So just to let everybody know, we've gotten more outs here at 282 on Tesla. We'd like to hold it. We always talk about trying to hold things for a little bit longer of a time frame here. So hopefully now there it goes. Hopefully now it can start to rip up. And by the way, there it is again, another one here on Amazon. Now it's taking out 32, so that's a great trade. And again, a shout out to Chef Joe. Going to give all the credit to everybody there that deserves this. Sharif on this Rivian. I've already shouted out Max for a great trade there on Tesla. We're back into Tesla as well and adding to that here. It's been a big stock on the floor today. And you can just see, man, that's why it's the #1 name on the sticky note. Watch list, check it out. Sticky note, check it out. Trade what's strong, trade what's good, and trade what makes you happy. And if you like trading Tesla, trade it, right? Trade it every day. There's lots of moves to be had. Amazon trying to pull back a little bit. Good thing we got a lot of this out at that 32. Let's see if it fades back a little bit. Market giving something back. I'm going to take another piece out here. If it falls, it falls, man. We're getting lighter and lighter on everything right now. Amazon was absolutely, I can't thank our viewers enough, man. That was a great trade for me. We really, this is why we have the 50 period up there, man. We just sat there and took that long. This risk to reward is like 10. This is about 10 to 1 R to R right now because we were getting out at this break of 60. So it's about 2. It's about 5 to 1 risk to reward on that. So that's going to be a good trade for us. But let's just start to get a little bit light now. It's 10:04, man, and that's been a great half hour. So can't complain so far today, but there's always something else to trade, right?
Yeah, there's always something out there. There'll be a loss at some point on the show. Maybe it'll be, oddly enough, Virgin Galactic's back in the money now, but I just took CGC at that 5. I just want to point, sorry, not 5, 50 cents.
Yeah,
if CGC goes to $5 today, I'll eat an entire pineapple pizza. But SoFi, now a triple top at 850. So this is still going. It has never gone against me. But until it breaks out here, I don't think you're going to get the outsized move just yet. But I like where it's sitting. And as mentioned, exactly what I wanted to do with, I keep wanting to say Carnival. If I say Carnival, I probably mean CGC. CGC Canopy here. It broke 50 cents, got to like 50.3. I shorted 49.5. My risk is just under 1 cent a share. And then if it pulls back into VWAP, that's the R&R for that trade, right? So like if it goes down to VWAP, that's 4 cents, but that doesn't mean it's 4 to 1 because my average out will be at about 47.8 to 40, 47.5 to 48. So it's about, like 2.5. On the R&R, that is CGC. If it breaks out, that's fine. AMC is even going today. It's one of these types of days. CGC just took out the top, so I'm out of that one. We lose 0.8 cents on that. I don't know why AMC is going, but maybe it's just because everything is going. It's about to break the high from last week at 455. Are you kidding me? I don't know why this stock is running, quite frankly, but this is the top. Exactly right here, 455. If we can figure out why this is going, we can make a decision. I don't want to chase something if I don't know what's going on in AMC. Yeah, I'm not going to pull the trigger, but it looks like a pretty solid breakout if there's an actual reason for why this wants to go.
Yeah, maybe just 4th of July. Maybe.
But they just had the
expecting a big
thing last week.
People going, the ape conversion, waiting to go to the theater possibly. I could see that as being some sort of a. Maybe you get some 4th of July numbers. I don't know. I'm just throwing out. I didn't even look at AMC.
Is that a big? It's still a big movie weekend.
Is there anything out now?
I don't think so. I can't think of a big movie for the 4th of July weekend. I heard Indiana Jones is terrible. So, which
is that another Disney movie? Probably.
Is anybody surprised that the new? Whatever, man. I don't want to rag on them over and over again.
Every new movie seems to be terrible, man. We got that DC movie apparently was terrible, and then this one's going to be... I didn't hear that about Indiana Jones, but...
No, I've heard it's...
I do...
Like bad.
That bad? Oh, that sucks, man.
I haven't seen it, so anyone, don't at me, please. I've heard that it's terrible.
You can add him.
What? I'm just... secondhand, I'm saying it's terrible. I didn't watch the movie, but I've heard it's bad.
Yeah. They can still at you. Gives you
Okay,
more,
well, Loop and Loop
There we go.
says that Indiana Jones was good.
There we
okay,
go.
Well,
See? So there you go.
To each their own. Eagles saying it was awesome as well. So don't listen to me,
Boom.
man. Like, what do I know? I haven't seen the movie. I just heard it was bad.
We'll give back on Tesla right now. It's breaking through 280 right now to
No
the
way.
downside. So yeah, it's making a nice move back down here on Tesla. So yeah, let's wait to see. Did it just resist? I don't know. We're
had a
going to
bid
get out
down
if
there.
it breaks it, man. I mean, it's a pretty easy trade there. If you break 280, I think everyone's going to get flushed out on that. So would not be a surprise if that does happen, as I'm just watching into the corner of my eye right now. We're going to give some back here because we're long at 280.70, right? So if that does dip through, then yeah, that's going to be an L on this last part of Tesla because we've averaged into it. So, you know, sometimes you get the reload and it's been great. We actually did reload it and it was great right there. So, you know, again, just sucks because we're not mooning the way we thought we would here on Tesla early. Well, it did happen early, sorry, but not late. So this pullback down does not seem to be getting bought up. You can see the market right now is taking down the 50 period or VWAPs and the 50 period and starting to break lower here on the NASDAQ. So that's why we've been getting out of everything. We've talked about that, man. I mean, Amazon, really getting out of Amazon. I mean, we already got out of that one as it still continued to go to the high side. So Amazon was so far so good right there. There's Tesla. So we got a piece out there in the 70s. Let's see if it wants to really make moves now. But a good long down there. You know, we've got some serious shares on board because of the average in. So let's just wait to see where it goes now. Back up to the upside. Our net is right back to sort of the high of the day. We're really cruising here right now. You're going to see Max. He had a good trade on Tesla. He'll be talking about that. Let's just hold it right now and see how far we can go as we are nicely done here. Let's go back up to the upside. Boom, right there. That's a good money trade for us on Tesla, man. We reloaded that bottom, and here it goes on a big position. Tesla to the upside, man. Yes, sir. There it is again. Let's go Tesla, man. Damn, I love this stock.
Yeah, I mean, it just 280 has been the absolute gift level. Broke out at 280. That's the level on the daily chart. You had that double top action to be sure, and it broke that pre-market high. It reloads at exactly the same price, and now we're off to the races. You're right about the market coming back down in, but I don't think it's necessarily Tesla you're worried about. If the NASDAQ were to go red, I think you're a little bit concerned about Apple at this point, because look at the barcode on Apple. And if this stock breaks down, this actually this gets interesting if we don't actually get away from this 193. There's only one direction for it to go. Oh, I should probably alert you guys to SoFi, that one continuing to work. I wanted to point out the ES. I don't think we went over the futures. The ES 45,000, pretty big level if we do make a big run to the upside. I think that could be a big one to take some profits if we do get to that price. And then I mentioned I would get to SoFi here. It got to that 855 level. That's the second level to the upside. So it just continues to work. We'll go Kincaid spike. Although if no one takes a tight end off my hands, and maybe I don't draft him in the first rounds, hint, hint, wink, wink. So SoFi starting to make a secondary run here. I'm looking for 859, and then I have an offer in front of 870. So pretty much everything long has worked today. As I told you, CGC was the first L we took. I shorted 49.5. I got out at 50.035. And you know what? CGC's having a great day today. It's up 40%.
Wow.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know what levels to look for. When it's a 50-cent level, that's an obvious one. 70 cents looks like 70 to 75 looks like it could be a little bit of something there. Yeah, but a good day for CGC. I guess rising tide is lifting all ships today, and coin is at $80. Oh my goodness, Coinbase. Wow, this stock is up 12%. Okay. Just because I don't believe it doesn't mean I have to short it. That's my line for today on Coinbase.
I like that.
You don't have to try to short this. I said 85. I think I'm going to stick to that. To me, crazy, insane is at 85. So if it breaks 80, I don't want to chase it up here. I'll say congratulations to anyone that snipped this out for a long. I thought there were longs that I felt a little bit better about holding on to the bid, but this one is squeezing today. Coinbase, let me just double check the short interest here because that could be coming into play. It is, 23% short float. That is a factor in this move to be sure, at 11% and still rising with Bitcoin doing nothing.
Yep. we just took some more out. So the other position that we had there, okay, so first of all, we already talked about our Tesla. That was good. If it breaks 280, we're going to get out of the rest. We're run out of half of that reload because it just went up to 281.50. Those were some good outs. But this is the position that's more in question for me right now. It's not even really in question. We know exactly what we're doing. If you break below 50, we can get out of this one pretty easily. There's the reload there at 70. There's the out at 90s. So we did take a little bit of profit right there on the AMD reload, but it fell down with the market pretty dramatically. So that was a big move. We told you only had 10% left. We have some great outs upside here on AMD. Like, you know, these are fantastic, and it doesn't look like it wants to hold fort here. So I'd say AMD is going to break lower. So no more averaging in on this one. But I do have more offers. If we get back into the 90s, we'll try that. I am bidding something in the 60s against the 50, but no more like, hey, let's average into this one because we're that confident on it. So no about that one. Here comes Tesla. And again, we got out. So I don't think it's a reload spot down here. I feel like it wants to break 280 right now. So if it does, we'll be out of this. It will be a hit at the end of it all. But it does look like it's trying to bounce off 280. Obviously, the market's going to need to run as well right now. The market did just bounce off this level again, and Tesla only went $1. So I really feel like the move could be a little exhausted, and then maybe we get sort of a reload down here near the 200 at 277, 279, something like that. But again, pick your poison on Tesla if you do want that. And holy, there it is again. I know a lot of you will be doing this. We were doing this yesterday. It was a great weekend in the Katina house. We're barbecuing up some profits today, though, with AMD. And there it is right there. There's another one, another reload, as we are, despite Tesla moving down. We're at the highest spot we've been at all day right now. So AMD reloaded up to the upside. That's a great trade. Amazon, again, we have 10% left on Amazon, and it's coming back in, bouncing off that 131. Would like to give this one a little bit more room to the downside. Remember, it's showing us long from here, but I mean, that's just because that's our last fill. Obviously, our average price is still going to be a little bit lower. Looking to get some more down here at that bottom, but the market's still, I mean, it's 10:14. The market's almost half over right now. So
look at the NASDAQ.
Yeah, I know. That's what I'm trying to figure out here. The NASDAQ is, I mean, you have it maybe on a bigger frame there, but it's not doing anything.
Yeah, like come to my 15-minute chart for a second. I'm laughing because you look at all of the opportunities out there for big runners, but if you were a futures trader, you haven't made a trade. I don't think. I mean, I don't want to speak for futures traders because I'm not one, but I don't think you've made a trade. If you were looking at the overall market, we're inside day on that. If you're trading, I mean, heck, if you're trading Apple, you haven't done anything either. So the litmus test this morning was, we probably should have put crypto on there. You know, I'm not a huge fan of the longs on Coinbase. I'm always looking to fade that stupid thing. But if it wasn't moving on Friday and Thursday and it wasn't an EV name, then I don't think you wanted to trade it. SoFi is running into some resistance 65. I think here could be the top 870. We mentioned that earlier. And given the fact that Sean just told you, 11 o'clock, that's that midway point in the day, right? And on a holiday shortened day, and of course with the big holiday tomorrow, you do want to make sure you take the money and run. So you are taking profit on the way up. There's going to be turns all over the place. Like if you didn't just take out profit on AMC, on its little technical break, it could already be testing back to VWAP. So, you know, take your money and run. I did just look over at Lucid, which I'm still holding on to. Was able to get to 740, couldn't make it to 750. I didn't reload it. Like when Tesla bounced 280, I reloaded Tesla, but I didn't reload the Lucid at 720. That's exactly the same move. But if we get back up to that 740 double top, yeah, you take some profit out there because you might not be breaking that second high, that high again on a day like today. Somehow, magically, yeah, you know, we're in one thing that doesn't seem to want to go. I should have had the first breakdown on Virgin Galactic. That's, I want to say, inexcusable. I thought it would pop and fade, so I had the offer to get short at 4 instead of the break of the consolidation down. And the break of the consolidation down was the free money trade. I'm now just sitting in it 76 with a 5-cent stop that won't trigger, it won't flush. So there's really nothing for me to do except sit in the trade, right? Like I don't have a reason to get out of this at this particular point. All you got to do is complain about Lucid, and then it gets right back into that high. So once again, we'll ring the register. It is power up. That's the closest thing I have for an EV thing. It's got some power to it. We need a graphic specifically for EVs. Something solid. Just shout that one out to Fabian there, because on days like today, where the jam has been in the EV names, heck, these things are all absolutely flying. I passed a couple of Teslas in my Audi this morning, but quite frankly, they're winning. They're winning it today.
Tesla's a big mover. And we're winning it on Tesla as well because this is now monster trade for me. As there goes Tesla back up to the upside. Ooh, I was waiting at, that's funny. I was waiting at 95 there. It got as high. Oh, there it is. And there's the out. So there it is right now again. I keep on doing this one, like I don't know why. There it is right now, another dollar. So, hey man, dollar clubs today. Rivian is currently in it. Tesla's the best part about Tesla for me is this. I'm reloaded. Just reloaded, baby. We reloaded it with a lot of shares down there again. Like there, I mean, boom. We told you about not taking it again, and I'm fine with doing that. I mean, I still have the shares on. If you wanted to take it down there, you could have. We do talk about that all the time. But yeah, right now, again, because of this move on Tesla, now, I mean, I keep saying we're at the highest spot, but you can sort of see what stocks I have on board right now. Today is not a short day. We don't have anything short. We actually talked about that, and that we wanted the long. And I'm done. Like I keep saying I'm done, but then every time I look back over, we're just in. We made better trades, and it's just like things are falling down and holding. The only thing that right now isn't holding is Amazon, and this is the one. See how I haven't reloaded this yet? It did take out that high, but here we will punch some 80s right there. I still have that bottom of Amazon coming, and it's going to come in right now. This break of 60s, I don't think we want to be in it. It's a nice pullback down. We'll take the average long right now, but I honestly, if this works out, I'm super happy, but again, it's not the crazy trade that maybe we thought that it could have been there, breaking that 130.50. But we did, or sorry, 130.150. We did get out there. I mean, my best out is in the 80s. Amazon still remains the number one stock on the day, actually, P&L wise. So Amazon, well, it's Tesla, then Amazon, and AMD's trying to make that as well. But we had a lot of shares. So like we said, man, Amazon still net wise a good one for us. But let's wait to see what happens because it is trying to break lower. Amazon and AMD, but Tesla is the one that's right now, honestly, it's on one pretty much to the upside again. So we'll wait for 284 to get something else out. That's been the high. Lucky enough if it gets up there again, especially on the NASDAQ, pulling down again. We've already talked about the NASDAQ really not doing anything. So I believe it's a take your money and run kind of day. And we've been doing that with like a bandit out here right now. We need one of those things across our eyes.
Smokey and the Bandit?
Yeah, Smokey and the Bandit or not. But
That's
right now,
cool.
I feel like a lot of people are going to be having hot dogs this weekend. So have a couple on me right there as there it goes nicely done to the upside. Congratulations, everybody that's part of our watch list as well.
Yeah, exactly. Congratulations to everybody. I don't know what is the big thing for long weekend. Obviously, I have a couple of brews, but is it cracking some dogs and burgers? That's what I would think it is. That's what I like to barbecue on days like that. I'm trailing out of Tesla here, and I feel like, well, okay, it could still hold on. There it is. I just got triggered out now. 280 the first time, it made that top at 85. Given the time of day and the fact that it's a half day, when it bounced off 280 eventually, I'm looking at that local high for trail. So when it wicked above 282 and didn't immediately make a run at the half, that's my out. The same way we got out there. So a couple of longs off 280, that's all I like. That's the one level I wanted to play on Tesla today. So I'll be happy with it. With only 40 minutes to go until we kick you guys to, I guess it's like the close show. It's not even the midday. But we do still need to get to the desk for, shoot, is it small cap recap? Yeah. Oh, I got to throw them out.
Small cap recap brought to you by Huzi. Huzi is a top digital insurance platform in China, chosen by insurance giants for its broad market access and expertise in customization, enabling them to reach a wider audience and offer specialized solutions. Shout out to the folks there at Huzi. Guys, all right, let's see what the first one moving here. PLM, we talked about this one in the morning, 29 million share float. This is a buyout with a possible ceiling here at 211, 204 the high. Basically, Glencore PLC looking to take the remaining part of PolyMet that they don't already own, which is about $71 million. They currently own about 82.26%. Again, 211 the buyout price, but it is I believe it's not a firm deal. AHI, the other one moving up here, 668. This one was squeezing. Multiple halts to the upside. Neil asking me if there was anything on this. All I could find is a 3 a.m. showing here saying the CRS filings, the notification of cessation of securities for AHI. Those are really the only two in small cap world today, guys.
Well, I mean, CGC. I literally just typed CDC. CGC still going. It just got to 55 there. I'm probably not gonna. With only 40 minutes to go, like the one place that I felt like the R&R and the trade was obvious to me, if I'm going against the grain of something, I want tight risk, I want an obvious level where people might be taking profit on a stock. Otherwise, I feel like you're you-know-whatting in the wind. So I'm going to stay away from that one. Jimmy John's delivered poolside, Steve G just said.
Yeah,
that'll work. That'll work.
Yeah,
anything by the pool. I hope the weather is nice for your 4th of July. We got rain yesterday, but Saturday was all right. I mean, Saturday was nice and hot for us on Canada Day. It was. I had no issues with it, but yesterday it was kind of raining all day long. We were still outside, but couldn't really do what we wanted to. I feel like if I'm trailing out of Tesla there and it's going to continue to go to the upside, it's a different story with SoFi. That 840, it got you to 860. Now you're starting to run a little bit out of steam, like I did with Lucid. Just throw offers back in front of that current high just to take more profit out of it. If there's fades here late, maybe that's there. I don't know. Like if you look at if you look at the big caps as a group, Microsoft is trending to the downside, down 0.5%. Like I suppose really if you were looking to fight shorts, you could be thinking about this, but that makes more sense at 340. Just looking for like new opportunities, and if you look at big cap, they're just weak right now. AHI going for no reason. This is exactly the kind of thing that can happen when you talk about days like today with low volume, it kind of gives an extra push to some of the low float types of names, right? Like if there's less market participants in a low liquidity environment, when these start to go, they just get absolutely ham. But I wouldn't necessarily be chasing this one. I think if you're not long down here at 550, I wouldn't be taking this breakout through the high of the day on AHI.
All right.
It's just a little bit too late in the day for that. It's just, I don't know, you have less time for it to go. I think you've either made the money on these or you're just managing your position if you're already in the money long. It seems like it would be a good double top here, but I would be staying away from that. Maybe there's like a little dip where you risk 20, 30 cents in there on a cheeky long if it dips in here, but I wouldn't take a top break at this time of the day on the holiday.
All right, we're using the same kind of logic right now to discuss this trade with Tesla because there it is right now. We just got to piece out. 250 in the money. Like what are we supposed to do there? Another trade coming through. We talked about it there. I mean, I was just reading over the sticky note as well, and what we talked about with Tesla, right? And it was just we have the notes there. We put it here. I'm looking at it right now. We just need to get long and stay long. I mean, that's exactly what we wrote down. We did have some talk exactly why we wanted the long, but I think everybody knows that. So there it is right there. Tesla, get long and stay the hell long. So that's exactly what we're doing right now. But we're getting out too. I mean, we're trying to stay net long. But right there, look at these dip buys in that one. So if that's not a reload, then maybe you'll like this reload. Back into the damn dollar club right now is look, I mean, Sharif, this is insane. This AMD again. Look at that trade. We just reloaded it for $1. Not only is it a dollar club right there, but we'll give some props. It's a reloaded dollar club right now. So it's actually a dual member. So it was first entered it right there at 115 up to 116.60, $60 club. And now it is right there back to the upside right now. You can as well be a member of this club. You just got to make sure that you take the right trades. And sometimes we're the other member. We're like minus $1 on some of these trades. So the club taketh and giveth away the same way. We're kind of just sitting here in Rivian. I'm just, I like these names, and we gave this one to you in the we gave this one to you in the pre-market, of course, right there. Nice reload in the pre-market. We should have bought that dip right there. I know Neil had that right off the open. But yeah, 1940 been the high. I could see myself getting out of that if we do get up that high again, so we're going to have to watch out for that. I apologize for my excitement, man. Today has been such a monstrous day. Every trade we've put on has been more than $1 in the money. So, even if you're trading 10 shares, you're up $50 today. And that's if you took out bad outs. So it's just like the bare minimum trading today. You would at least have dollars on all these trades, right? So not stopped out of, not stopped out of anything. We did get stopped out of Amazon, but honestly, that was 78 out 69. 10 cents worth of a hit there on Amazon. So like I said, it still remains a top stock here today, but Amazon nicely traded. Thank you to Chef Joe for that one. Although that last trade is the only one that we've got knocked out on right there. And it has absorbed that. So I think we can probably try it one more time, especially with these futures going to the upside. So let's see. Small position right now. Okay, we'll just try to get some 83s there. Sorry, 81s. We had to pay up a little bit. So there it is right now. We'll get, oh, we're not filled yet. Still not, okay, well, has to blast. Oh, did you see all those blasts through 81s? I'm going to give this one now to 50. If it breaks 50, fine, we'll get out. Again, not a big position here for me on Amazon. Let's wait to watch it. But I don't really know why we're back into a name that's been weak, so let's just hold off.
It's the big caps.
Yeah.
The big caps. With the exception of Tesla, I should say, because if you look at the, what are we calling it, the Magnificent Seven?
That's Jim Cramer's calling it that.
Oh, okay. It's Magnificent Seven's just it's a good movie, but whatever you want to call them, Tesla's the one that is strong today. Everything else looks weak. Apple's kind of weak today. Meta's kind of weak today. Microsoft's
but AMD is.
But it's not in the 7.
Oh, no. Oh, you're right. But NVIDIA would be. I don't know if NVIDIA
I haven't checked NVIDIA. But I want to get to SoFi for a second because when you're, look, again, like every single long has been fantastic, but this is running out of steam a little bit. So I'm not giving it to the bottoms. I'm going to tighten the stop up underneath break even. At this time of day, it makes sense to do so. But you just mentioned NVIDIA. So NVIDIA is actually up today, but 0.7, trailing the market a bit. This didn't have a tradable level for me, so I didn't take any trades there. 420 was the one that I certainly liked. And if you're not going to get it at that price, you can say we're forgetting. I get it. Maybe today we're forgetting about NVIDIA, but I see right now if it rolls over, that'd be lower highs, not at a key price level. If you took this breakout right away at the open, the local break off 425, that was your trade. If you tried to reload it, you got run the heck over. So the open break level does not hold, and it continues trending to the downside. I mean, the easy little longs, I think, made it easy to sit this one out because that's actually setting up in the other direction. CCL, I think, just got back to 19. Half an hour to, oh no, it did not. Sorry, check that. 1895. CCL still trying to get back up to that 19 level, and NEO just broke down beneath $10.
Ooh, okay.
So that's, if there's an EV name that is not working out, I haven't looked at XPeng, so don't at me. Underneath 10 on NIO here. Well, the bottom was like 960. If you're looking for a dead cat bounce, 960 to 970 is where this thing closed on Friday. I could see that being at least a little bit interesting. I'm still holding a piece of that Lucid, but just like every other breakout trade that worked, if it can't hold a breakout price, I'm out. Like I held on to some for 750. It doesn't seem to want to go there. I'm not fighting these. I'm surprised by NEO, though. I did not realize NEO was breaking down. If it pops up, maybe a 10 short, giving it to 10.05. But really, when this took 10 the second time, that was probably a really good shorting opportunity. Wow, this is actually pretty weak on NIO.
Right.
Did not see that coming.
I think that's a good idea there, Neil, because, short stops right now, not the position, but, if you're stopping yourself a little short, I think that's not only it's a good move, Kramer and, it's Costanza that did the stop short, wasn't it?
Yeah, it's Costanza.
Yeah. Hey, don't stop short me, Neil, there.
I was demonstrating the move, man. I'm not doing the move.
Okay.
I'm just demonstrating the move.
Yeah, we're just playing. We're playing around. But yeah, so I think that on a day like today anyways, holy, Amazon, nice reload back up to the upside there. We're going to watch out for Tesla breaking 280. You might have heard me say something outside of my mouth there because I put the wrong stop. I put $1,030 for the stop there on Amazon. So we got punched out and had to get back in. But either way, the reload is still there on Amazon, so it's a nice move up. Our average price is 65. That's exactly where we wanted it. We talked about where we were willing to average in, and we did that. So it's been a good trade for us so far there on Amazon today. Nice reload back up to the upside. We're long at 65. So there it is, Chef Joe, and everybody else on that reload down to 130.50. Let's see if it continues to climb. AMD is just a monster. It's taking out highs for the period anyways. We got to get up to 116.50 if we're going to do that, but above VWAP. All right, it's crypto time. It's with the man, the myth, the legend. It's Sharif is at the desk.
Crypto update brought to you by Riley Coin, the utility cryptocurrency used by the international organization, the Royal Court of East Breathline O'Reilly, as their method of exchange. Shout out to the folks there at Riley Cohn. We begin with Coinbase here. This one was a rocket. It broke through $80, but anybody with the short at 80 looking good now as we break through that $78 level. Still up over 9% on the day. In case you're wondering what is going on with this stock, there is no independent catalyst. Rather, these and this and other stocks in the crypto equity space are running from last week's report that Fidelity and BlackRock's spot Bitcoin ETF was not actually rejected outright, but was termed inadequate and therefore, could be resubmitted. MicroStrategy's also up 6.5% on the day. It got up to that 368 area, retracing now. The mining coins are also strong. The mining names, are also strong. Riot up over 7%, trying to break through that $13 area. And I know Sean's favorite, GBTC, not so bad either. 3% trying to break through $20 today, guys.
Yeah. So watch out here. The NASDAQ is approaching the low. It'll be the morning low here, but that was in the pre-market 15.33. If we get some kind of a bounce, well, it's going to have to be something that wasn't strong bouncing this market here because Apple just broke support. I was just looking for what can I short in this range if we break the low, and the first thing that came to mind was I knew Intel rejected 34. It's underneath VWAP. It closed at 33.44. That was a pre-market bottom, so shorting to that level makes sense. It's about 10 cents worth of risk if I start getting in now. I would love to have this at 40 even, but I'll wet the beacon here. If the market does want to take out the low, there's not that much time for a move, but there is at least an R&R trade in here. Remember at 11 o'clock, it's not necessarily the midday, right? Because we close at 1 o'clock. The U.S. markets close at 1 o'clock, so we are going to be going to Pratt and the boys till 11 o'clock, till 1 o'clock. But that is going to be when things start to get into close mode, right? So we're going to flip over, and it's going to be the close for the last 2 hours of that day. So you're running out of time for new trades, I think. You can manage what you got. But I want one shot. If the market breaks low, the only thing that was setting up for me was this Intel. And speaking of big names at the bottom, I got these wicks on Apple. There's Apple. Could not hold on to 193. There was no reason to fight this one. If you were trying longs, long should have been easy today. As I said, like EV names were the way to go, and maybe CGC and Coinbase. So this is now falling to the downside. I know we said the Alamo was 191, but quite frankly, unless abject disaster happens, I don't think we're going to be around for 191 long today on Apple. It's a good level. I just don't think we get there. So I don't think I'll be long Apple at any point today.
Yeah, no. If it gets down there, but not too much.
It's not getting there in 20 minutes.
Oh, before the show, no, but I think it could get there during lunch, maybe.
Well, yeah, it could get there before the close. It still seems a bit extreme to me at this point. Like the NASDAQ just actually held very, very briefly there, and so we're still up on the NASDAQ overall.
Yeah, so that NASDAQ, so first of all, Amazon, still down here. We just got something out at 75. Hopefully it continues to rock. Tesla's really pulling back, but we have 10% left, maybe 20% left, but not much left at all on Tesla. I'm really, really happy with the way that traded today. So we're going to have to watch out for this 280 level. Obviously, if we dip down below that, then we're going to get out, but that's the last sort of thing right now. I haven't had faith in this dip buy, so I'm not going to do it again because we didn't do it the first time. Well, we did it the first time, but not the second time. And to me, that's the key because we missed that. So someone got that all the way back. We got it. We got it. Great. We just didn't get the reload. So it's been a nice move up. If it happens again, great. But we're going to get out if it dips below that 280. So that's that. Rivian gave us the out. It took VWAP. We talked about that. That's been a very good trade for us today, Rivian. So we'll slap our face back and forth on that one as it's been good. That's for sure. And then looking for some more trades. The one trade that I want to bring up today, Neil's talking about big cap tech not really doing too much. And he's right because look at Meta. Meta down 0.5% right now. Breaking lower. This could be a short at 286 for sure right there. I'd like to see it come back a little bit, but yeah, this name definitely getting hurt to the downside today, Meta. So yeah,
what about Micron?
Yeah, well, Micron's been kind of a shit show for a bit now.
There's looking for a short,
it's
though.
not doing anything, yeah. We shorted this at 64 on Friday, so I think that's a good look.
Oh,
yeah,
it's up today.
Good job remembering that one. This is the short that we had on Friday through 64, and then a reload there as well, downside. So I think you're right. Any sort of weakness in the chip space, you probably want to have your eyes over here on
But look
Micron.
at that break at the open.
Oh,
my
there's Tesla,
goodness.
by the way. Anybody, yeah, well, yeah, you could talk about Micron in a second, I guess, but Tesla looks like right here. I'm not reloading it. I don't think you are either.
No,
but
not this time.
yeah, this is already 3 times the charm down here at 280. So we'll wait. Hey, if it works great. I still have a piece on, but we're getting ready to get out. So hopefully you guys can trade this and put some in your account. But for me, right now, chill, Winston, on this one. I'm going to give it a minute here. Wouldn't mind getting Tesla down near this 278, 279. So we'll give it to that. If it goes down there, we'll take the trade.
Like, here's if it was a full day, I really think like getting in, like Micron here, if it broke down, that would seem like that's a good entry into a short and giving it to the local high. But maybe we don't have the juice. I didn't realize how strong this was at the open. Like, look at the break, hold 63, breakout gives you $1. But if you didn't take profit right away on that, like you basically are sitting there praying that it gets back up to the high. But it's underneath 64. That's step one on this. If you're trading this for the rest of the day, this is why it looks appealing for the short, Micron. 64 is that big monster level on the daily. You're underneath the 50 period, which is at 65. What did you fail today? You failed the 64 break, never saw the 50 period. So if the market takes out the low, I don't know, that seems like a short entry. As I said, we're down at 11, so I don't know that you want to force yourself into that trade. If any other day and I take it, I have Intel, probably got a little bit greedy there. That's just a weaker stock. So it does set up for like this little short into the low if it wants to go. If it breaks out above VWAP, that's an easy out. And it's down 0.3%. I expected to go over to Micron and see that that stock was down, not up 1%. I don't want to say one last one for you. Oh, wait a minute, that's the wrong stock. I just did it again in my head. I was thinking Alibaba and I typed in Boeing.
Oh, no.
I do that a lot. Sometimes I get those two confused because it's BABA. But Alibaba might be up 1.5%. We showed you NEO, we showed you XPeng both flushing. All of the Chinese stocks have been absolutely just falling as the market hits these lows. BABA is back underneath 85. This has generally been a pretty decent price for the stock to execute trades. This would be a pretty big gap that it'll be filling. I don't know, my punch short at 1040 on the holiday. Like this is a good level, 84.40. I don't know if there's time for this to set up into a short, but I did want to make sure we showed this to you guys. Like I said, we're down at 11, but there's still another couple of hours the boys will be able to take you through. And I feel like Alibaba breaking this 84.40 bottom gives you $1.40 worth of room into said downside. SoFi has actually managed to bounce a little bit, so I'm still in that long. Everything else has more or less trailed out. As we said, I don't think it made sense to reload into Tesla the third time. I did not reload into Lucid. That just break even and starts to come back in. You take the money and run on these types of days.
Yeah, so we did that exactly on Tesla as Tesla now falls through. So we'll ring the register. Again, sometimes the saving grace is not making the trade. We talked about not reloading it at 280. We would have given it back. Well, we wouldn't have given it back, but we would have given something back there on that reload, because if I put on the same default and it breaks back down below and we lose that 50 cents or something, then 50 cents on a full default is much, much worse than $2 on 20%, right? So you got to sometimes do that math and take in consideration the market that's in front of you and what's exactly happening, and don't die on any swords, especially on today the volume's not light, I don't feel like. I'm watching these names. A lot of movement here.
I feel because we're watching EV names. Because
I'm sure the volume's light.
Yeah.
I'm sure the volume's light. But just in some of these names, and that was the tip for me 2 weeks ago, whatever it was, the tip of the week or whatever. Neil did one as well, I did one, and I think that we always think the same thing, and that's why we do the watch list, and that is trade names that are active. Like on the watch list today, I didn't trade CCL, but Tesla, Apple, CCL, XPEV, right? AMD happened to come in. Amazon took out that 130, 150 level. So trade names that are in play. Obviously, the missed opportunity for us, I think, was big cap shorts, because Meta definitely down $3, $4 Meta off the high. I don't know how you knew that was going to come off 289 like that, but it did that. And then Apple was the other big tech name that's weak. And again, it's not even that it's weak. It's weak against the market, that's for sure. What's the ES doing? It's flat. So the ES is flat as well.
The NASDAQ went red just now.
Yeah, the NASDAQ is right there now, down 0.1, and Apple giving it back. And often when you make those highs, that's what's going to happen, right? We just took out 3 trillion, just touched 194.20 there on Friday afternoon, and touched it today, 194. So there's the pullback as people trying to sort of regroup their positioning here on Apple. Crypto's still not doing much, but it's Apple making that move down. All right, without any further ado, I believe it's a call for the big guy at the desk. So let's go over to Sharif for a couple reviews.
Yeah, Sean, we're going to see how the sectors are doing. Let's look quickly here at big tech. They're not doing much. It's flat. Like Neil just mentioned, the NQ just going red. The S&P already down 0.05. It's been a mid to small cap led driven day, except for Tesla, obviously the outlier in big tech world. You see the big tech watch list over here. Tesla, the outlier, microchips, semis, not doing much either. Crypto, though, having a very strong day. We talked about Coinbase. We talked about Ethereum. MicroStrategies now over 7%. A lot of strength in crypto, not to mention the EVs. Lots of strength there, whether it's the Chinese EVs or Rivian or even Lucid today. Rivian 11.5% to the good. Chinese ADRs were also on watch. We talked about more Chinese stimulus coming in, more quantitative easing and possible rate cuts in China as a result of a lackluster growth in their economy. The other name on watch, weed stocks, CGC, back on watch, baby. 45% to the good today. Some other, names in the weed world are also moving. You got Evergreen popping up 10.25, and Tilray as well, 8.5, almost 9% now. Energy's flat though, guys. It's big green, but not really much to the high side. Airlines were red earlier on delays and cancellations coming from bad weather and staffing shortages last weekend. Looking green now, though, as we move back into Greensville.
I mean, I'm still down
CGC
98% on my CGH. You know what's bad when the thing rips up 50% and you're still down 90? Not great for CGC.
But if you
it's
just
a
averaged
nice
in.
Yeah, I did that already.
Okay.
Have you seen the CGC daily chart, by the way?
Oh, I was going to pull up the weekly.
Yeah, the weekly, the daily. I mean, it's basically pick your poison at some point there. As I think I just heard something in my ear. I think that means my chart's going to crash. So if you have the weekly, go to Neil's screen
I've got the weekly up. So
mine looks like an IPO.
I'll be the first person to tell you that dollar cost averaging is an effective way to manage like long-term positions and things that you want to buy. However, make sure it's something quality. Because if you dollar cost average this one, it has not been, I don't care how it just has not been working out for you. It's not a good looking chart, but there's a reason we show that. And again, I'm not here to give anybody financial advice or anything, but if a stock is in a deep downward trend, you know you're making a hero play when you go long. All of that being said, I started out as a penny stock trader. My first profits and my first checks as a day trader came from trading small caps and penny stocks. And so like everyone else, well, I don't say everyone else, but a lot of sometimes traders do. Like the first things I used to play for swings was what I knew, which at the time was penny stocks. And oddly enough, one of the easy plays was when 50 cents breaks on a stock doing this underneath a buck, to look for the first, you're looking for a bounce back. So the fact that it's doing it from 40, I used to I try things like go long 50 with a 38-cent stop, and you're looking for a run to $1, that kind of thing. Maybe this is what it's doing. So on Wednesday when we come back, I might have a look-see at this. If we're still holding above 50 cents, whoops, I went to the ES, I wanted to come back over here. If we're still holding above 50 cents, I might start looking for longs that could give you a short-term run into $1, at least until it gets to $1. Once it gets to $1, all bets are off. I usually think you want to take a shot shorting that. I did get one new position. As the market's starting to roll over, ooh, that went to Briz. That one, there we go. Hit enter a few times there. I'm in this short on Intel, just thinking it's giving me the consolidation. If the market breaks lower, I get it to the low of the day. But if we run out of time, I might just have to get out of this one flat. It's not really going over. My thought was that the market broke to the bottom. Let me short something underneath VWAP that has a chance to go, and it wasn't at its low of the day. But it is now 1.5 cents out of the money because I'm short at 34.5 cents, not 35, and not doing anything whatsoever. I'm still in SoFi because it's calmed down a little bit. I don't think this is one that I would reload at that time of day. But if you still took, you know what? If you just said the entry's off of the pre-market breakout price, you're still giving it a shot, I suppose. But that move is when it broke 55 and tried to get to 60 there. I'm not sure we do anything with that as well. Tesla's actually back to 280. Oddly enough. So still pretty strong, up that 7%, but that 80 level almost feels like if it rolls over from here, you can see 276. This is why we said take the money and run. Don't get caught. If you're looking for the trade the rest of the day, the NASDAQ is gone red. It does feel like, as Sean was pointing out, like Meta's relatively weak. Shorts underneath support. underneath morning support, has room to get down to 284. That makes a little bit of sense as well. And I guess you could look at Microsoft and Apple for similar things. The overall market is pretty weak today. I know it looked like a great day for the longs, but that was very, very specific longs in the EV space and some crypto.
Yeah, I mean, now that we've broken below VWAP here and below this 15.30, basically 15.360 right there. You know, it's going to be the short for me. So I will not be taking any more longs. Like I said, unless we can get to some more dramatic levels, the markets, this is enough for me. We've really done some damage today. This has been way more profitable of a morning than I would have thought. So it's been a big one. It's a great way to start. Remember also too, man, give yourself some chicken dinner winners here because it is the start of a new month. So that's the one thing you want to make sure. It doesn't really matter, but some of you play your nets month over month. You don't necessarily do that. I mean, it's just a change in the calendar. But new month here, it's new half, right? I mean, now you're starting into the second half of the year. So just be careful. I mean, I feel like there could be some profit taking here today, especially heading into light volume in the next 2 hours. But I say that, but there's so much stock moving around. Do not get fooled by people to say like, oh, there's nothing happening, it's light volume. It just means that you got to look at the things that are actually moving, right? Like Tesla today has had probably one of the better days, I think. I mean, trended so great in the morning, man, huge move up, then really gave you 280 a bunch of times. And then as we said, maybe it's the short now off VWAP to the downside. So look at that if you want to trade, right? NVIDIA's bouncing around. Oh yeah.
CCL just broke 19.
Finally, for the first time.
I'll shout it out to you guys in the chat.
Like
and this is why I love this community, because we're sitting there and I'm like, oh, I like some things to the short side that are rolling over, that are following the market. But what is still strong and breaking out and making higher highs and higher lows? You guys all said CCL 19 as we're talking about that. That's why this is the best trading community, because you guys can tell an upward channel. I won't suffer you through the lines that I would about to draw there, but you can see higher highs and higher lows. This is a stock that I want to say unparalleled, because a few stocks have been making strong moves, but I don't know many things that were as strong as this last week. I'm sure you could maybe come up with one or two. But now that it's through that top, you could see a little bit of a trend here to the upside. It's got a decent short interest. I want to say 12% short. Let me double check this. Yeah, 12% short on CCL, breaking through highs, higher lows. If you're continuing to trade the rest of the day, this might give you something to the long side off that 19 level, at least as long as it doesn't break trend, as this line displays. About 1880 would be support, or just 19 even. I won't be doing, as I said, we're going to be out of here in just 10 minutes. I was able to get one bid in here because if it ain't going to move, I'm just going to start covering on Intel. I felt if the market really started to flush, this was underneath support, but yeah, if it doesn't want to go, then I don't have to sit in this one forever. Let's go to the desk for Money Talks.
Currency coming in fast and furious here. Let's see what the USDXY, the US dollar index, is up to today. It is flat, up 0.04. The euro not faring well against the greenback though right now, down 0.12. The British quid up 0.4 against the greenback. The Swiss franc and the Japanese yen both downside. The Canadian, Australian, and New Zealand dollars all having decent days against the greenback, with New Zealand the outlier here, up 0.33%, guys. Not much in.
Not much at all, bless you. I don't think
the timing of that one.
I don't think you got that one.
I don't know if I got, hopefully did I get the mute on that?
Why isn't my chart?
I think I got the mute button on that one at least.
Amazon.
Another stock running, just because
Amazon's ripping.
Disney's ripping.
Yeah, good.
Disney just broke $90 to the upside.
Yeah.
It's also stair-stepping up. So, hey, man, why would it not be running with the travel space? It makes a little bit logical sense to me. Like, how are you going to tell me that CCL and every other cruise line is going and Disney doesn't want to run as well? So this is now breaking out the bottom of the channel through 90 even. Oh, goodness. If it wasn't, like I said, like any other day, you'd be thinking, okay, you're now looking to build along from 89.70 to 90, like inside of, whoops, whoa, that wick. So inside of this range here, let me just quickly draw that for you.
1039.
So inside this range, we had that consolidation breakdown of Disney. Yeah, like look to maybe build along in there if it can hold on to the trend. then you can have yourself an afternoon play. But again, it's a half day, so maybe we come back to that. And oh my goodness, there it is. Yeah, I'll be laughing at it because this was, remember we had the space short, instead of taking it here, I took the consolidation, it stopped out. Well, it came right back in, and I suppose, I don't have time to re-enter this one, but if we were sticking around, I think, re-entering this and giving it to the same high, it's down 2.5%. It's low-hanging fruit, to be sure. Apple dipping, we already talked about that. NVIDIA, if you're still hanging on to this one, this is the one of the Magnificent Seven, whatever the heck you want to call it, that's still to the upside, right? So Tesla underneath 280, NVIDIA is actually breaking toward the high of the day. So file that one into your strong deck as well. This stock is relentless. This market does seem to want to hold on to the bottoms. You could be looking at a 4:30 breakout in the afternoon or lunchtime, depending on how you're looking at it here with NVIDIA. Did not realize that was so strong. I'm going to cover more of Intel because if this takes out the high of the day, there's nothing stopping some of these chip names.
We, we talked about this, the number one P&L stock here today, AMD. Now that we're out of it, I could quite clearly see that. We got out, unfortunately, on the VWAP break right there through 60, and we had got a 50 print. We actually used 50 as our out, so it's through VWAP, we got it out. It did reload itself at 115. Obviously, NVIDIA seems to be taking out highs when AMD is still about $1 away. So I can't be happier with the trading on this other than we would have liked to hold our last 10% or 20%, I believe that was, for an upside move like we're having right now. But look what else is starting to go back up, man. I mean, honestly, the fact that, okay, there we go. We're just taking 87 right now. Let's just spin this again. This is for Canopy. Anybody on that one? I refuse to celebrate any longs on Canopy until it gets back to like $20. That's not happening. That's just a joke. So we'll wait to see it's 50 cents. But there goes Amazon right now. We just got a great fill on that one. Like, I'm talking about like not being in any winners long side. This is 40 cents in the money. So Amazon right there off the reloads. Amazon's been absolutely fantastic today. That is for sure for me. And a big shout out to Chef Joe as well. All right, here we go. We now have a new position alert. So we'll go, oh my God, because it's a new position. And this time we'll ride the bears and we'll just see if it works. 286.50 is the 50 period moving average. We're short Meta right now. So again, weak name below VWAP. Let's see how low we can go on that one. If we're going to get out for 50 cents, we should probably take 50 cents. Again, this one might be patient. We might just have to be as patient as we possibly can be on this one. We will average something in the 20s or so, but our out is right here, man. 286.50. If it breaks it, we're out. 50 cents worth of risk with a little reload somewhere in between here. That's what we're going to try to do right now on this. So hopefully Meta will pull back and we'll be able to get this. But we just did talk about where we're looking for this to reload it in the 20s. Let's just test Meta. It's down today. If the market goes to sleep, I think we just fade out the rest of the day. But again, here it comes upside. So I'm acting as if this is a problem. We're out 20 cents now on Meta, but so far so good. And there goes Amazon. Excited to hear if Obi has this as well. Again, great bottoms. We talked about this. Obi asked me, what did I see on Friday when we killed this? 130 support. Same difference here, man, except for it's at 130.50. So it's a huge move up for Amazon right there. Let's see if it wants to continue to do that. So this is where I'm talking about it. We're 50 cents in the money on this, and we're flat right now on our Meta trade. Let's just trade some weakness. I don't know. Trying to do something here with only 4 minutes left.
I just saw this one here. I was looking for news on this Vine. I don't really see anything outside of, I don't see any news on this Vine. Maybe we'll get Sharif on it. But either way, up 88%, doing like 37 volume. I'll put it in the chat. VINE here. It's a penny stock. And like I said, on days like today, you can get some of these runners that do a little bit better because already low volumes. If like 50 cents, after what happened on CGC, if there's any kind of a decent catalyst here, maybe it's just a breakout. As I said, we're going to be gone in a couple of minutes. But if you look at the daily chart, there's some chop above 50 into 60. So it's a double top at 50. I think 60 could be resistance. So if you're taking a 50 break, I think you only give it a couple of pennies, like give it to like 48 or 47, because that 60 level can be in play. I did get some of Intel out flat. ish, okay, fine, like a couple of cents worth of a win because you're getting a bit long in the day, but it's starting to roll back over. And you just have to find something weak. The NASDAQ's at the lows. This is already to the downside. We'll take this into the low of the day. Down at 33, I think is going to be that bottom. I have not been reloading so far. I'm just slowly getting out of it. And one last one to get to here. We talked about, well, to go back to at least, CCL now challenging back underneath that 19 level. So if you're looking for that trend to continue, I think it's around VWAP and 1880. If it gets underneath there, that one can be in trouble. So the only new position we put on was the short of Intel. It's only now starting to break down, but it's only 7 cents in the money. Low of the day, 33, is actual support on this new short. So I would expect this to get to 33 and find some support like it did over on Friday. Just 2.5 minutes to go. There was another name I wanted to get to, but it's definitely, is SoFi still a long? Didi just said. I'm not reloading it, but it hasn't broken breakout support. So I couldn't argue with you if you wanted to say, okay, well, it's still valid on this double hold of the double bottom, break out the top, hold the breakout price, that 840 level. Fine, I suppose you could. I won't be doing it because on a holiday, you take the money, now it's rejected it. You can scalp it for 10 cents in there, I suppose, but you know, as far as I'm concerned, like you make the money and run on that, and you don't want to get too aggressive on that type of a trade unless it's a pure scalp trade. If you're looking to just get the 5 and 10 cents in there, yeah, go ahead and you kind of go for that. But if it breaks 840, I'd be out of it.
Oh man, I wish I was a little bit taller, a baller, but a shot caller. It's called entertainment, boys, and it's up to you next. Here it is right now. Look at Meta, 286 short. There it is right there. It's a nice move to the downside right there. So this is the shot caller that we called. Let's see how it happens now. To the downside, it's $1. Again, it's 1-to-1 already. I hope it gets better than that. There it is. What's up to Daryl? Shout out to you, my guy, there in the chat. Awesome trade if you did take this as well. But okay, now Meta's getting close to being this $1 in the money. There it is to the downside. And not only that, as we're making money short on Meta, we're also making money magically long on Amazon, as it right now takes out that 131. So, all right, pull back in here. Meta is now $1 in the money, so already 2-to-1 for those of you trading risk to reward right there. Let's see if Meta can break through 285 now to the downside. So yeah, man, it's been a good day here, and I hope that you guys can continue it with what's going to be another big show there. Max is in the building as well with Brad, so should be a good show for you guys to close out today and then enjoy your July 4th. So hopefully some of the money that you've been making here today, we don't have any red trades today, which has actually been pretty good for us. We have over 100 fills right now. AMD, so AMD, like I said, the #1 stock, we've already sort of talked about that right there. AMD, nicely done. Meta just came in right now. That's trying to bounce around. I could see something happening there. Amazon, probably going to take an out right here. Let's just do that if we can. Right now on Amazon, taking 03. There it is. We just punched it out right there. That's been a good trade for us, just to review what we've been doing. Rivian, again, man, Rivian's been a monster trade today as well, as we bought that sub 18, only to see it fly to 1950 right there on Rivian, with my best out only being at 19. So could have done better on that one. And then, of course, you're about to hear it from Max, but Tesla has been an absolute monster as well, man. We've taken multiple dollars out of Tesla today as well. Only one mistake right there was about a 30-cent hit on that last piece, but when you have these, you're doing pretty good. So, all right, man. Wow. It's been a good day for sure, right? I mean, I think a little bit better than what I expected anyways here for the day. But thank you to Fabian, Ramin as well. Sharif, obviously, doing great work up there, subbing in for Brendo.
You know what we should?
Go ahead. Yeah.
I just realized this. I mean, the NASDAQ is red on the day, technically speaking. So I'm going to do this to create a market.
That's supposed to be like a prediction.
I'm creating a market bottom.
Okay.
Usually this works to create a market bottom. Like if I switch it from a bull to a bear to a bull or whatever, or this in case from a bull to the bear, as the market hits the low, then we can create a bit of a market bottom and send everyone off with a positive afternoon. We'll see if that ends up happening, but it's been a fun one. We have Max, we got Prad. We're going to be out of here. Hold on to your butts and get ready for some action. Happy 4th of July.
Ciao.
Happy 4th of July indeed. How's everyone doing? Hopefully you had a great weekend. I'm your host, Trader Prad. We got Maximilians himself right next to me, and he has been killing it today. How's your day been, Max?
It's been decent. Finally